hold on for me. I did promise people that we would get the streams going, and then I would have us officially start, right? So having said all of that, I did sort out a lot of the sound issues, and I think I've also sorted out my streaming issues. And so with all of that said, I'm gonna just redo the intro. You can stay online, don't worry, I want you to stay online because it's a good point. So redoing the intro and welcome everybody who has been listening for the last few minutes, but also everybody who might just be joining us on YouTube or in the Girl Guide group or on any of the multiple platforms, the video platforms, including Twitter. I'm Randy Arturo. The other voice you're hearing is a gentleman on the yacht, Danhai Hall, who is with us on video this week. And we're talking this week about anything that people want to talk about, of course, because this is BrickTalk, but also we are talking about, we're kind of centering it around portfolios and the portfolio ball, as I said, when the bricks start balling, portfolio woes, right? And really, it was inspired by a conversation that I was having. Was it in the Girl Guide group? I think it was actually somebody in the Girl Guide group who said something and tweeted something. I thought it was very, very good, and it was a good point. So I have decided to bring it to the forefront, and so yes, that is the intro. Welcome to this week's Brick Talk. So having said that, I give more of a little of an intro. We're talking to Michael, who is telling us. Michael started off asking about Mailpack, and I think the impact of the breach, the data breach that Mailpack would have. But then the way he went into it, he had a bunch of ways that he went into it. And if you listen to us for a while, or if you've done Grow, you know that I pay keen attention to what people are saying because they tell a lot more about what they're really doing and what they really want and where the mistakes are from what they say versus what they really just want to ask for. So with all that said, we're back to Michael, who's now telling us that he's not, and he has told us he's not a short-term trader, not into the quick sort of trading. He invests for his children. His idea is to put it down in the future, not into the short-term trading. And he's been making mistakes for the years. So a lot of the stocks he's bought have burnt him, but some have done well. Michael, I think he said 3.
Well, out of my portfolio, I think I had 7 to 9 stocks, and I only have 2 failing. But yes,
2 failing. What's your overall portfolio? What's the percentage?
Because when you say over,
you profit overall or loss?
Oh, it's a loss. No, it's sorry. It's a small. It's about 50 to 20% profit. But I look at it as a loss because I lost one stock. Because I invested heavily in that one stock.
You can't look at it as a loss. It is a loss or a gain. You make money or lose money.
So it's a profit on the overall portfolio. But but there's a stock that is invested. If I'm supposed to sell all the profitable stocks now, which doesn't make any sense, I still go think I'm making a loss because of the losses that I'm getting from that one.
It don't make boy. So it's an interesting thing you're hearing because you're saying of all the money you've put into the market, you are between 15 to 20% in profit on all the money you've put into the market.
Correct.
But I look at thing, it is the truth. You are in profit overall.
I'm going from a computer now, so this is
that's fine. I'm just based on the information you give me. So far, if you can correct it later on, that's fine. But generally, if you are in profit on the total money you have invested, you are in profit overall, despite this one thing holding you down or whatever. If you sell the good ones, guess what? The money you sell doesn't make you selling not being in stock anymore. Doesn't this make the losses up? The losses or the gain disappear. You still made money overall. You are in profit.
I'm in profit.
You're sure overall?
Start on the last.
I'm sure.
I'm working what you said. I'm just correcting that thing you're saying.
I know.
Yeah.
I take your point, but to answer your question, I'm in profit.
You're sure? How you know?
I am 100% sure. I'm looking at it right. Well, I'm logging in now. I'm logging in now.
You're logging into what?
My portfolio.
On mymoneyja.com?
No, I don't have that one.
You should probably put your portfolio on mymoneyja.com. Who do you trade with? You use that JTrader broker or you use JMMB or Mayberry?
SSL.
Okay, so they use JTrader at SSL, and that's where you've bought and sold your stocks?
Correct.
Using JTrader?
No, I don't do it. My broker does it for me. I don't
Oh,
personally go in and do it.
okay. When you look at your portfolio report, the current value of your portfolio is greater than all the money that you've ever put into your portfolio.
Yes, sir.
All right, I'll
You're
take your
good dead
word
money
for
in
it.
profit. You're in
You're
profit.
in profit,
No,
then,
no,
man.
I'm not good.
No,
No, you're
I
not
know.
good. You're in profit though.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes, I'm in profit.
No, actually, you are good, just not as good as you want to be.
That's a better way to put it.
Mm.
And the reason why I'm saying all that is just, as I said to you before, I know there's no science behind what I'm doing, and this is where I think
Oh,
you guys, that is Randy and that I listening to the person that come on here, can guide me along. Because as you always say, Randy, you will be making profit, but you don't know why you're making profit. I
I
don't
have
know why
never
I'm
said
making
that I
profit.
have that. I said that's something that should be avoided badly. I said that's
Well,
no, it
accidental.
sounds like you've done a lot of accidental profit.
Yeah, man.
as I said
I,
to you before, my mentor, whenever I'm interested in purchasing stock, I ask him. And he was like, go do buy this stock and buy that stock. And I was like, all right, cool. And I
well,
go
so
out there
far
and buy.
So
you've
now
only
I find this
mentioned
interesting. Why ask a mentor?
you've only mentioned one bit of advice your mentor has given, and I mean
And it
the
sounds
market
terrible.
has proven that it's rubbish,
Mhm.
right?
Well, that's true. Well,
Okay,
according to
I agree.
your, according to what you guys are saying. And
No,
the
no, no.
reason
According
and
to the
the fact that I
numbers,
want to
No,
go
no,
back
no,
in
no,
there.
no. It's not
No,
according to what
no,
we were saying. It's
no, all
according
right.
to the stock
The
price.
market has proven that the stock is still well alive and living and moving in the direction that it should have, barring the one breach. But the reason
Why are you bringing on the breach, boy?
I like the breach because I want to jump back in, but as I said, I shouldn't, so I'll leave it alone.
well,
In
no,
my
no. We
No,
never
no.
said that you
Wait,
shouldn't.
what?
We never say you
No,
shouldn't.
Wait, you got
I'm
no
talking to myself. Sorry, that came out of myself. So that's supposed to be for me.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
What? And please, it's not like it's wink, wink, nudge, nudge. We really didn't say that you shouldn't.
And
We're just examining the basis for how you approach this decision. You are doing about the same amount of research as somebody who says what a man play. Like, it's actually crazy. Not because not because you can't do any better research, but simply because I don't know why. Like you could do grow. You say you've listened to earning season, so you know about grow for a long time. You've still not done grow. So I am
You listen
forced
to
to
earnings
just
season, hear all the points, and
yeah.
you have some level of a method. You have some level of a basis against you can measure things, and you're just refusing.
I'm not refusing, just
What you call it?
trying to find the time in the world, bro. Trying to
Boy,
find
the
the time
time
in
will
the
never
world.
You're
find
fine. You're
itself. I
fine. You
promise you
can
that.
yeah, yeah.
That's an actual advice. Boy, trust me.
No.
Make
I
it.
listen to me. As I said to you before, I'm trying to do all. I not that I'm trying to do. I do a lot of things for myself. To put it out. So, and it's very difficult to find time within the day. So now, when I came, that's it. When I pressed this mic tonight, I was trying to convince myself that after this conversation, because I spoke to you at NCB when you came down in Montego Bay, I said I
Oh,
pressed this
me.
mic tonight, and huh?
Me, Randy.
Yes, Randy, not Danhai, Randy. You were
So
Randy.
you made time for that NCB event. That was maybe 2 years. That was before Trans Jamaica. And
And
that was
well,
a few hours.
that 2 years ago, I was not. I didn't have several different jobs doing.
I understand.
So when COVID came up, I created different revenue streams because, as I said to you,
I respect that.
originally when I went in the stock market was so to try to make money for myself. After a while, I realized half of the things, because currently I'm looking at my portfolio, right? And just I'm not trying to I'm looking at JMB money, JMB, right? And it's up by 111%. Me cannot tell you what caused me to have that 111%. So I can create, I'm confident enough to come out and say this to you now. That means I wanted to grow. I want to find out how to the best avenues to start this. But I just wanted to share my point of view on not my point of view, just to find out if it was a wise decision, or what factors should I look at now? Because you have shown me.
I think you should come to grow. I'm sorry, I don't usually like to talk about it like that because people might like. I don't want. It's not like I'm always pushing it, but
No. What I mean as in, when I was talking about male
no,
pattern,
I understand, but I can't tell you the
Alright.
factors to look. Let me tell you what it's like. Here's an analogy I've been using recently. It's like it's like I ride a bike. Right? And I ride bikes for years, and I'm very good at doing stunt riding. And then you come along and you have been on a bike a few times over the last years. You have a mentor who also looks on bikes in Jamaica and overseas. And you want me to have a conversation with you about the technicality of what to do when you're mid-wheelie, letting go one hand. What's the best way to position your head? That's if I, as an expert, compared to you, have that conversation with you, it's not good for you. It's encouraging you into something that, like, what I should be telling you is that, yo, you're not ready at all, because you're telling me about some crazy mistakes and the reasons behind them. You're not even trying to say you're not making these mistakes badly. You're saying, yo, I'm making these mistakes. I know about it. I'm proud of it.
I'm not
I've been
proud
doing
of
it. But I can't. The thing you're doing. Here's what you think. Here's what it sounds like. You just think, yo, the grow thing. It's expensive. But can't do without that because I've made some money without. And maybe you're not. Maybe you're just saying that truly it's a time. And I understand. But yo, tell me something.
I would not say the money
the
is
stocks
different,
you're
bro.
down
I
on.
wouldn't say that.
The stocks you're down on. How
Yeah.
much are you down? You'd have to give people an exact number, but just give me a ballpark figure.
Oh yeah,
All right. So I'm down 53% on select funds.
No man, give me a ballpark number. Jesus Christ, 53 is a big percentage, but
It is.
no man,
It is.
your overall portfolio is not down. You're saying, right?
No, it's not.
But the stocks that you're down on are down. What the biggest one you're down? What's the dollar figure that you're down? Like how much are you down on? Like how much have you lost?
It's not a lot until I sell it, but 125,000. I look at it now.
125,000.
Once I don't know enough that's it.
Wow.
I
So
never
tell me
did it wasn't
something.
a lot.
So tell me something.
Sorry about that. My bad.
If I were to pay you 125,000, could you take one day out of your schedule?
I don't think that 125,000 make up for my schedule. Sorry.
Okay,
A day?
cool.
Damn, bricks.
I understand, my G. Listen.
I'm sorry.
Listen. What a man play.
Yo, I never said I'm not going to do it. I'm just saying to you.
No, I'm just saying, like, you listen, if the level of losses that you're currently incurring aren't enough for you to, okay, let's say you can't do the whole one day. And I
Did you
understand
not
that.
hear me just say a while ago? The reason why I came on here is because the fact that I'm making that loss. I want to start. This is my first step. You know, when you're doing something like you're drunk, and I said the first thing is not to take out the bottle. You're drunk, and I said don't take out the bottle. This is my first step.
I understand. And I'm saying to you that the next step needs to be that you need to have some better methods.
Yes.
Or there is a shortcut. You can just pay Danhai, and he will literally tell you how to fix your entire portfolio. That's like the easy way.
I'm not in the easy way anymore. Sorry.
That's a perfectly good way, though. That's a reliable way.
Then go for the hard way. Go learn and take the
That's what I
time
want to
and do it. So do it. There is no try. You're just doing.
Trust me.
Just do it. Because the more you invest, that's also more at risk from the idea that I don't know exactly my method. I don't know exactly. I'm just doing this thing. And the more money you throw at the market with that in mind, that's also more losses you're racking up. Because at the end of the day, you're playing hit or miss. You're throwing money, you're throwing a dart at the wall, and it maybe hit bullseye. But Jesus is just there's so much there's so much room for everything is wrong. And you're playing a dangerous game with the money there. So, and 125,000 is not enough for you to take a day, then so you can make money, and that's just more money to the market. Imagine losing all the money you're pushing just from investing. That can just go wrong, bro. Do the class.
Yeah, I mean,
just find the time. Do something just for your money. At least get a method around it so you can. As I said, the first step to the grower. Learn when you need to grow and just put the method in place and just keep grinding with that. You learn. You actually have a base to know exactly, this is where I'm going wrong. Yeah. Because trust me, if anything grower give you, it's the why. You get up and you say, all right, cool, this never go right. I reflect on the method and whatever. Where did I fall short? What exactly? And you know what to do next time.
Yeah.
But
I mean,
if you can't keep doing the same thing over and over and over, and the same problems keep popping up, and then nothing is done about it.
think of where you are now. Like that one stock you mentioned that you're down 50 or 53% on.
Yeah.
You realize that you're gonna have to find, for you to recover that, you have to get a stock that grows. Like when you go in, it has to grow 213% just for you to get back to where you started.
130.
Well, that's the profit on it, but yeah, the
Yeah.
overall growth, yeah. So you need 113% profit to get back to where you were.
Yeah.
Like that's not an easy thing.
You have to get a 113 to get back to where you were, and you have to say, all right, cool, I'm back to start. I'm back to phase one. I'm home base. How the hell do I get a home run now? Because you do want to make some money when you're going to select. When select down, you have to make back the money, and then you have to go look for the money that you wanted to make when you actually went in the first time.
Understood, guys.
Yeah, giving yourself problems. And yeah. And just, I really want to touch that. When you said you really like the company, you see yourself growing with the company, but the price, no. You realize how that don't align? Because you growing the company mean in profit with the company, right?
Yep.
That'll be your true test. So if you can grow the company, why does it need to be at $2 for you to grow with it? I'm going to take it to $2. If I have a lot, you realize how you start doing that my price thing, you go on a very deep line of boy. People do the my price thing and cut it there, so and then sit down and wait. And the real question people ask themselves, how much if it was at $2, how much profit on that $2 would that get me to the point where I say, all right, this is good, I'm leaving, right? And then if I ask yourself after that, when it going to $2? So imagine you say, boy, I need profit, I need meal pack. If I think meal pack is a $4 stock, and if I buy it at $2, I make 100%, right? That's the idea. If I buy it $2 today, I make 100% by end of year. That's what I'm doing. I'm fine. I need 100% by end of year. And you go wait. Suppose meal pack don't reach $2 till December 25. What do you do then? Because I mean, say wait that whole time instead of find another stock that can do the same thing.
Yeah. Suppose it never falls. Suppose you sit there waiting and you
never
watch
falls.
it.
It's gone to $4, gone to $5. It'll go to 6, 3 to 600%, and you were waiting on $2.
Then you start doing the next.
You think? Yeah.
You start doing the next industry thing. You start custom market.
You start custom market and say, boy, the $2 start this. If it's $2, so you can go back to 4.
These investors aren't sophisticated. These investors aren't sophisticated at all.
How dare they break? Yeah.
Yeah. They're not. I don't think they're buying with sense behind it. They're not buying with fundamental sense. Yeah.
You really, honestly, you set yourself problems, and I get I get a lot of what you're saying. You have a half goal. You're buying for your kids. You want 3 years. You have a 3-year time horizon for anything you're going to. That's fine. But build your method around that, what you actually want from the stock, all sort of thing. And how do I pick a stock that goes from there? So you're shortcutting yourself and be able to do a job. You're not really work out.
Yeah.
And you set yourself for more problems. You really just need to get a method around where you're going into whatever. Why you believe in this stock? Because you see, I've seen a lot of opposing sides there. Your mentor say, boy, mail packs ain't about in there for whatever. We really believe in mail packs. So why were you listening to your mentor about the stock if you really believe in it? I don't see that, you know. Because you believe, him not believe. And why him not believe? Why even listening to him? And not say you respect him all that nice. But what's your basis of respect in terms of the stock market? Why do you think his advice works for the stock market specifically? What's going on for his portfolio? Do you know the specifics of that? Or just, boy, you have a general idea from what he tell you, we don't really see. You don't really know certain things about it. Also disconnect there. You see what I'm saying, Michael?
Yeah, I hear what you're saying. Making mental notes.
No, I'm saying, see what I say. Different
yes,
things.
I see what you're saying.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, and that's not to knock your mentor or whoever he is, you know. It's not to say that he's not a nice person. But you've only mentioned one bit of advice from him and it's top rubbish. So Like if you were to have listened to him fully, you would have avoided making 225% profit in what, 3 years? So just based on that piece of advice, I would start to question it. What else has he ever told you to buy that's been great?
Supreme Ventures.
Oh, when did he tell you to buy Supreme Ventures?
We buy Just Bet together.
You guys
Jamaica
buy
producer.
Just Bet together. Okay.
Yeah. So he had Jamaica producers.
Why did he tell you to buy Supreme Ventures?
As I said to you before, it was coming up to the World Cup season. I think it was which World Cup in? I think it was the last World Cup. No, not the last. World Cup before that. I think it was 2010, something like that. No, it wasn't 2010.
Okay.
I can't remember. It was one of the World Cup that was painted awfully, and we were gambling on the games, and he said to me that I know you're interested in the stock market, and Supreme Ventures is on it, and this is something that this is a subgroup of Supreme Ventures, so you should go ahead and put some money in there as well.
Well, that's
Just
my
based
half
upon
advice.
Just based
I
on
would
that.
not put money in it. Yeah.
Damn.
That's the kind of thing that people say to me, and I get very wary.
Yeah.
How much money those Supreme Ventures get from Dustbet?
And
How much more money them get from
5 or so
from
years
World Cup?
ago? 5
Yeah.
or so years ago.
When
Sports
World Cup was
betting.
already.
Sports betting was
No.
And it a lot of issues around that, because Dustbet never bring, and in my opinion, Dustbet never bring Supreme Ventures from where it is 5 years ago to where it is now.
Yeah, not at all.
But it wasn't only on the sport betting, you know. It was other.
Yeah, man.
Other,
But it's
cash.
yeah, but then the part you touched very strongly was that.
No,
So
because it's something that we put our money in.
Yeah, man, that's fine. But guess what? I can like chocolate ice cream, and I sign on Twitter, and I buy the stock of the company that sells chocolate ice cream only, and I sign on Twitter, and everybody hates chocolate ice cream. And then suddenly I put my money there, but because nobody else is, this company is not doing so well.
Yeah, that's not
It's a very good entry level how to get in the stock market. We often say it. We heard a lot. Buy the companies that you support. You actually buy it, and it's a good entry level. How to pick stocks and whatever, because very quickly you start seeing certain things and you become more sophisticated after that. But the truth is, if you're looking for I need X by X, if you're not investing at base level, that often is not enough.
Yeah, it's
and it
can
really
be dangerous.
Good entry,
yeah,
because in fact, I don't even recommend people do that as a put their money in there. I recommend it as start looking at the companies you put money into. But buy it, they can make X money, you meet your goal and whatever. Me buying corned beef every week doesn't make Grace Candy a good company for my money.
Yeah. Tell me something. You still have the Supreme Ventures?
Yeah, I do.
Nice.
Okay, so that's why your portfolio looks so nice. When you bought it for like how much?
Cheap.
$18.
18.
5 years
I was
ago?
hoping he was gonna say something like 10. It's more than 5, man. It's like 20.
More than
like
that.
2014
I think it's
World Cup.
2014. Yeah, man, 2014 World Cup, somewhere along that line.
Damn.
You buy for less than 10. You buy for less than 18.
Not necessarily.
What was it, Empire?
I mean, it should have been, but I don't know. I can't say for sure. You get me?
Oh, yeah, I get what you're saying. I
Yeah.
don't even got a computer, so I really can't check.
Yeah. I mean, 2014.
Did they ever split?
I don't think so. No. Not recently. I don't think
2014 so. Supreme Ventures is a very different Supreme Ventures than today.
Completely different company.
Remember, all right.
Then change.
So my average price is 18.
Oh, that's a good idea. You did the right thing there, in my opinion. But especially along those lines, when you mentioned 2014, then the talk you had in then versus after 2018, Supreme Ventures get a washout and fix up, and it's a very different company, much better now. And after the gain you're seeing there has a lot to do with that change.
Yeah. So he would have bought. Yeah, it could have been. I don't know. He could have bought a lot then. Like July 2018, Supreme Ventures. I mean, they're hitting highs of 14, 15, 16. Yeah. So I mean, if he held it from then, 100%.
Did they ever split?
I don't think they've ever split. Not to the I'm going from memory. I don't think they've split though.
Mm-hmm. All right,
Yeah.
cool.
Yeah. So Supreme Ventures is coming from like the July 2018 when World Cup was happening till now. In the 15 level, you get it at 18 thereabouts. So you're now looking at 27. So okay. 2014. Sorry. No. You say it's not 2018. It's 2014.
2014.
Oh, sorry. I wanted so much for you. So I guess you reinvested. July 2014 is a different thing now. You should be buying it at like $1 or $2 or whatever.
Yeah,
So you
cheap.
Yeah, so you definitely bought in again.
I did.
Yeah, but you're up over 100% now.
Yeah,
Yes, I am.
nice.
I'm about three companies. I'm about 100% on, but I'll not go into details.
I mean,
Why
I already
not?
said bit so much, and I figure
Yeah.
we think is one of them, right?
Yeah, we think I was late. I didn't. And I profitably in we think, but it's not.
Oh, you bought after meal pack thing. Yeah, I get. All right, cool.
It's-
Gotcha.
Yeah, I
Gotcha.
reinvested, so it's at 40. It's at 50%, which is not bad.
I think you definitely need a method because you know what you started with. I want to question it, but because we've done it so much, and I know somebody will say something else. But you said you believe in diversification. What does that mean?
Yeah.
So I don't. All right. So someone. All right. Let me not put it. So I've invested in retail. I've real estate, manufacturing, finance, and investment companies. And then I have. Well, this is non-applicable. I don't know what that means, but that is. They have the JMB, you have the Supreme Ventures, you have the Grace, and you have Jamaica Producers. I think it's Jamaica Produce.
Or yeah, man,
Sorry about
that's
that.
cool.
Yeah.
We say believe in diversification. What does that mean?
Hello. So I don't.
What does it mean to believe in diversification?
So even though I'm on the stock market, I don't believe that I should put all my liquidity or all my investments or all my I don't put everything in one thing. So I dabble in something else. I dabble in other stuff. But on the
Why?
stock market portfolio, why?
I'm not saying you shouldn't, by the way. I'm just asking. I'm actually asking why.
All right. So there's this thing that I always tell myself. So if you're not 100% sure about something, so you don't have the 100% backing about something, you can't put it all in it because, as you say, and as I said to you guys, no, I have no issues with all the statement that you have put out. But it's actually the fact, it's truth, is that if I don't know about it, if I put all my money in it, I don't lose all my money. I don't want to lose all my money. That doesn't make
Gotcha.
any sense.
No, I think that what you're saying is actually the reason why people diversify. So I'm not arguing that at all. You're doing as in my opinion, you're doing the work of somebody that avoids the work. So that's right. That's fine.
Yeah, you're mitigating your risk.
I think
yes.
it's just not the nail on the hammer on the nail a while ago. Right there.
Yeah, the nail on the head.
Yeah, man.
And don't take it the wrong way. I don't mean in a bad way, but like Warren Buffett says, that diversification is for people who don't know what they're doing. And I agree with you. It is a safety for you because you know that you don't know what you're doing. I think you know that you're doing stuff without a strong basis. You're taking the typical generic advice. So diversification is great for you then, because if you're taking the typical generic advice, you can't really get burned.
You actually don't really know the level of risk of this thing, so you're what doing. I make sure I take only this much of it. Makes sense.
Yeah.
So I think what you should be doing is the next step. Learn.
Yeah, man.
And actually figure out what's going on.
I go see if I can link on this week.
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
Running.
Yeah, so you can go to.
I hear that the classes are full though, but I'll link you again.
No, man, Danhai.
No, me full, Randy.
Yeah, Danhai class is full. Yeah, my classes are still full. I actually just opened up the booking for May. So May is grow. So you can either do split grow. You say you're very busy, so if you can do it over 2 evenings, we have there's one that's over 2 evenings, and there's also full grow, which is the full day. But you say if you can't do the day and you know your time kind of short, then you can do the split grow over 2 evenings.
Okay.
Yeah, man. But everymickle.com/grow. I think it'll be good for you and your kids. I think the shift that it will show you is something that will help you to make a serious amount of money, and you will be much better off for it, in my opinion.
And the truth is, I can see an attempt to do the work, just not the actual work. You get me? I can see that
Yeah.
you're looking in a certain direction. You're trying to figure things out. So just put a basis behind it and a method behind it, and put some blinders and you look in the right direction, and you figure out what you need to figure out before you go into a company. And well, you can even definitely look at the companies you're in already. I think that's where you should start and see what you need to
Yeah.
get from that. Yeah.
Yeah, man. So big up, Michael.
Yeah, man,
And
Michael.
yeah,
Actually, a really good question. Like, big up.
yeah,
All right.
yeah,
Thanks for having me, guys.
yeah, man. No problem, Michael.
Yeah, man,
All
boss.
right,
So,
all right, guys. So that was the first person. And big up Michael for coming on and saying that. I mean, I like how he's willing to go through the points and explain what I mean, and I like that. So people should, if you have a point like that, or if you have any point, if your portfolio bleeding, if you're going through the portfolio woes, or you just have a point about portfolio woes or portfolio good things, right? Then I always get flack. Not Danhai. I'm saying to Danhai, I always get flack around this point because, and you too, because you guys come on and you don't talk about when you've made mistakes with your portfolio. You don't talk about when you've lost money. So it sounds like you're always winning. You're always up. Is your portfolio always up? Well, is your portfolio actually always up, Danhai?
oh no, but
This year?
depends. I mean, this week, yeah.
This year.
I mean, so I have made losses on investments before. Yes, I
Yeah.
have been in a loss position on investments. Well, one, we spoken about that pretty heavy, a lot about 2020 and how it backed, and you had to just go into heavy mode and fix that. So,
Yeah.
yeah, I mean, losses are cool, you take it, but you know exactly, this are you making wins. It's not like money
All right.
at any point, then
Hold
you know
on,
you got what to
Danhai.
do.
Hold on one sec, Danhai. I think we're not we're
Yeah.
not hearing you properly. I don't know if you can ask the captain to go maybe a little closer to shore. You can pick up a better signal. I don't know, cause we're not hearing
Some straight
it.
signal.
Yeah.
You hear me better?
I hearing you a bit better now. Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, I think one, that's not true. That we don't speak about losses.
I mean, I know it's not true.
I don't know why they should
Yeah.
be. I don't know why they should be the focus. That's weird. Like, I don't know what people gain from. Boy, we should be losing money here or what. Like, the truth is, yes, people lose money in the market. We spoke lost in the market quite a lot, but the truth is, overall, I'm not in a loss position.
Yeah.
At this
And-
point, any loss I take, it will be very massive to put me overall back into a loss position. But what I do typically is every year I do a reset and say, okay, the year start fresh. This is what I'm trying to make on a year, or that kind of thing. And typically it doesn't start pretty. It doesn't start with buy the thing and by end of the day up.
True.
Or maybe a couple of weeks you're down, but it's a hold it out, or maybe find something else. So all right. So if people want to have a last conversation, sure, I just really want some guidance on what exactly they want to be spoken about. You just want me to tell you we stock I've lost money on before? I'm not sure.
I don't know, because I don't know if I'm the best person for that, because I've tried to investigate it and people get very touchy when you ask them to explain what it is, because I genuinely often want people to tell me what they would like to hear, because sometimes I remember, I think like in late 2020, I remember asking somebody, and that's late 2020, we're talking long, it's a COVID hit March, and we're talking now October, November. I talked to somebody and like I'm saying, Brethren, explain to me, because should I lie? Because if I'm not in a loss, what should I do? Should I lie to make it sound good? Because it wouldn't occur to me to lie. And I guess blow our own trumpet. I'll do it for us. I mean, we are kind of good at the local market. So I don't make losses really. I am always out there saying it. I'll say it openly. I don't make losses. Don't mean I don't ever buy a stock and it don't go down. But like the people who don't grow know what I consider. We're very goal based in how we invest. And your goal include your time. And I've never gotten to the time and had less money than I started with. But that's not to say I've never bought a stock and it hasn't gone down. That happens all the time. And of course, just like Danhai said, this year has been a bit the year
Sure.
don't always start so hype as this year 2022 started. So 2022 started like it don't matter even if we reset in December 2021 and say we're starting January 2022 fresh. I mean, by March, the portfolio is but like I have to start. If I do it, I have to start over and say, okay, let's go with
I
April.
think January had a tweet our own thing there. January about how well I was doing, and then now it's even better. It's 2022 has been great.
Yeah, but I understand that it might not be like that for everybody. So
And that's understandable. People invest at different times in the year. People invest, maybe them come onto a trade and it not really look. It can buy something, and it's up for the year. And when you buy it, might be the point when it's dipping, and then you have to wait some time. And it's not necessarily like that. It's not the case every single time. Sure, but I actually just don't understand what the conversation should be from the angle of let's talk about losses.
The most I can figure is that there are times of the year where a lot of people are like, oh, the market is down, everybody's saying it's down, and we have been notorious for like 2 or 3 of those time periods now to be laughing and going, well, is the market down? But we're not down. You reference
the only
2020.
time I ever see what the market is doing is when I see Insider posts the market report and say, hey, the market is up or down. And the truth is, it doesn't matter to your portfolio because you don't, unless you have an index fund that tracks the market generally, why are you looking at what the market is doing? If anybody ever tell you that, boy, the whole market is down, so your portfolio, no, the whole market down is a consequence of what the stocks in the market is doing. It's not the other way around, right?
Yeah, and a lot of people, I mean, the truth is, a lot of people look to they look to expertise, and if expertise is saying that, then they're gonna wonder why aren't you guys saying the same thing that the experts are saying. And when it comes to the market, the stock market, fear rules the market. So people are always going to want to be thinking that something must be off. I think we've been doing this for long enough now that our work
I put a lot of
speaks for
effort
itself.
recently into not making this thing sound easy.
Yeah, I've started to do that too. I feel bad doing it because I feel like I betrayed myself doing it. But
no, I honestly realize what I've seen more than anything. I think that's from advising clients. Is there's a gap between me and clients, and specifically clients because that's what I'm talking to and seeing it. I can tell you to do something, and I know the timelines, I know the triggers, I know whatever, and I can't actually communicate all of that because I understand and live with that. I understand to live with that boy, and I can move based on it, and whatever I can see something coming, I can see a dip coming, and I stay in it, or I move out until whatever. There's a lot of things I can do there that client and generally people who are not really informed about the market that way just wouldn't be able to approach the market from that direction. So I understand that, but why in general, I'm lost on that conversation.
yeah.
I think going to a tangent, I kind of forget the point where I was starting, to be honest.
No, but yeah, that's fine. That's fine. I think the general point is that I want people listening. Somebody listening, they're thinking, okay, my portfolio is up, or these guys are really good. The point is not about how great we are or are not, because anybody can get into good profits, and if anybody is down, you can also get back in. You can turn a portfolio around, and it doesn't necessarily take. It is not as hard as you think. As a original mind taught me to say, don't say it's easy. So it's simple. It's not easy, but it's also not as hard as you think. It is. Chances are you're doing more than you need to do to fix it. You're just doing the wrong things. So anyway, we've had a bunch of people waiting for a little while. I think the next person up, was I want to say it was Jordan. Or was it blockchain? Underscore Mula. It was Mula Moss.
I think it was blockchain.
Yeah, it was a blockchain. It was blockchain. Mula Moss.
Hey, respect, guys, respect.
Hello.
Hello,
Hi.
blockchain. What's going on?
We're doing good, man. We're doing good.
Blockchain
You know,
chopper.
you don't know.
Chopper,
You know
Jesus.
what? You know what? I actually come on here to ask you guys if you guys are invested in cryptocurrency at all.
I mean,
No, not
most
currently.
technically, as in, I'm sure I own some, but I don't pay attention to it. I pay
Yo,
attention to what's happening there, but I
you
don't
see,
I
you
don't.
Randy, yeah, Randy, you sample. That's what Jamaicans people say. You sample. You say you sure you own some about the place. Okay, cool.
As in, I've bought
Um,
some and I haven't sold all of them, so I'm sure I still own it because I've been told the blockchain is secure and it's mine, right? So it's there,
okay,
but I haven't checked it.
okay, I hear that. I hear that. Okay, so what's your thoughts on it? Like, Danhai, are you planning to get invested, or is it something that
Well,
you
I've said
know?
many times that I've said many times that I will go deeper into it and I'll figure out a method on how to do it profitably. The truth is, I haven't made any strong effort to go there.
I
I haven't made a
understand.
strong effort to go there. Yeah.
You're making too much bags on JSC. I get it.
Oh, that's truth. That's
I
facts.
understand. I understand. I understand. No, I get it. No, I understand. Actually, oh yeah, another thing I wanted to ask you guys. Do you guys plan to write a book, or like, cause I know, Randy pushes grower. I know Dana has his consulting thing, but I think for someone like me, or like someone like the young man before, who's I think his name is Michael. I think a book could be a nice little way for people to get the key principles of what you guys speak about, because I feel like the information you guys put out is different. I think everyone's trying to be PC and politically correct, and I feel like, especially Randy, man, you just chat. Like, you chat with sense, obviously, yeah, but like, I feel like you have this thing where you know what you're speaking about, and you
I
don't,
hope so.
you don't respond for like what other people think. I like that. So I think, like, yeah, would, clearly it make you guys a whole lot more money. But it will be valuable to us as well. For people who, like, for me, have a mad schedule,
Many
even though I'm not
times
like,
that Randy should.
go ahead.
I've said many times to Randy that he should write a book. I've thought
Yeah.
about it. I don't. Truthfully, I just don't like that kind of. I don't like the idea of doing it because I don't care to sit down and write a book. But I've said to Randy many times that he should just because I would like to see what he would write.
Nah, man, I feel like writing a book is not just you sitting down and writing. You can literally talk to your phone and get
Facts.
a transcriber, and they will write it for you, and then you get like a proofreader. You get a couple proofreaders. It's like not you sitting down like around your desk, doing that. But yeah, think about it, man, because I think it would be pretty valuable. Even if you guys do one separately, do one jointly, whatever. Yeah, I think that would be good.
Well, thank you. I've heard it a couple of times, so like here, Danhai said,
Actually,
thank you.
thank you. I will say that.
Yeah, but and I should. You're right. I probably should, but I'm going to take Michael's excuse and put it on to time. Uh, it's,
Yeah.
yeah, put it
I'm
on to
actually
time. But
procrastinate. I'm prioritizing
yeah,
many other things before that. So that
but you are right, and I have thought again and again about why I should do it, and especially because I talk so much about practical investing, and doing grow has forced me to um
Yeah,
lay
sorry
out
about that.
very
I got full.
okay, no problem. I was just saying that you're right, and yes, I know I should, but it's a matter of time and prioritizing it. And I know that in doing grow, it has forced me to put down very clear methods to what I do. And then I do advanced grow every month also. I have to the process that I go through to prep for those events. I have to make notes. I have to put a process down. So it's not like there isn't content for the book, but it's just a matter of time. So I don't know if one of you have like a book writing service, half ghost writing service, link me and maybe we'll get the book done. Maybe I'll share my notes and I can talk over the phone to them and they can put it together and we'll put something out.
Yeah, man. I'll be the first one to buy it still.
Thank you very
Yeah.
much.
respect.
So one thing I actually heard you guys speaking about was accidental profit. I am the queen. I'm the queen. I've made tons of money on accidental profit. But like, yeah, I don't care. I say it loud, especially on the JSC. Like, I will do a mad flip on the IPO. Yeah, respect. I'll do a mad flip on the IPO and just, either buy in, afterwards or just leave it. I never really had plans when I started investing. I was tricked into investing. I got an internship at Sagicor. Yeah. I got an internship at Sagicor 1 year, and they said, "Yo, if you buy our select fund, no, it wasn't select fund. It was if you buy our unit trust fund, we'll send you guys to one of our resorts in the grill." I was like, "Hell yeah, I'm going to that resort, bro. I'm getting to that resort." I bought the unit trust. And I kid you not, the morning I was supposed to go to the resort, I went partying the night before, and I didn't even get to go to the resort, right? And I remember, obviously, again, I didn't purchase the unit trust to make money. I purchased it because I wanted to go to the resort. I didn't end up going. So 6 months later, so like 3 months later, a rep from Surgical called me. I was like, "Yo, you remember you bought this unit trust thing?" I was like, "Yeah. What happened to it?" And she's like, "Yeah, it's up." And when she told me the money I was on, I was like, "What?" So that was my journey, or that was my introduction into investing, right?
That'd be 2019.
That would be 2019.
Yeah, man.
No. About 2016.
Really? Oh well, yeah. 2016 after 2015. Yeah.
2016.
Yeah.
2016 after 2015, which was
Yeah. 2016.
Yeah.
I just going out of uni, got my first internship at a bank, excited, and they brought me that gem, right? And so from then, my first IPO was Fontana, because I shop at Fontana. I'm one of those ones where I will buy a company that takes my money, right?
Okay.
Because I shop at Fontana heavy, so I was like, you know what, might as well just buy into it, man. And so I bought that IPO, and then from then I went to, you go to these little, JSC, beginner classes, and you try and find something practical or something that makes sense, and it's just a myth. Like everyone's just spitting the same thing, and then it's like, it's just like, this is still hard. Not hard, but it's like still not strategic enough. I'm a programmer, so logic and strategy is like important to me. If I'm not applying logic and strategy, then I'm just doing it because I have disposable income, and we know investing is good, so we do it. But one thing I was taught actually is that well, not taught, but like one thing I've observed, because I trade on the US stock exchange and New York Stock Exchange. I do crypto trading and stuff like that. And then like I realized, especially when listening to you guys, the strategy has to be different when looking at these different markets, right? So
Yeah.
I'm a little technical, so I'll do a little chart reading and that, like that. And, but like, you can't really read a chart in Jamaica because it's not moving that fast. You can't look at certain time intervals and that. And so my impression was that I had to do long term.
Yeah, and you'll be pushed that way all the time when you invest in. Really, you'll get pushed into the long term
like,
all the time. Yeah.
You can't really dial into the smaller intervals and look at certain things. So it's like, the resources are not as advanced. So perhaps this market serves more for a long-term trader. But then this leads me to my next question to you guys. Why you guys burn out long-term so much?
We do not.
At all. We're actually that's like us joking about Buffett. We're huge Buffett fans, and we're actually, I mean, at this point we've been talking about long term for what some people would consider long term a few years now.
Randy, how long you own lab?
Since IPO.
Right.
Since IPO, and their stocks I've owned for longer than that and held for longer than that. We don't burn out long term. I think if you come to grow, I tell people all the time, I feel like a broken record. I tell people come to grow because oftentimes you do it. Like if you ever do technicals on the US markets or the world markets, worse Forex, you are doing a level of work that is maybe 10 times harder than making profit on the JSE.
But that's what I realized. And then 10 times harder, less gains, less returns. It's mad. So it's like, what I've done, I've restructured my income, my budget, to say I'm putting more in investments in JSC than in international and crypto, because I just realized that the gains are crazy. Like I watched one of your videos and I think there was like Danhai was saying investors are spoiled. Yeah, I'm hella spoiled, man. Hella
Yes. Yeah.
hella
Yeah. Yeah.
spoiled. Especially when I look at like my ETFs and like certain crypto, I'm like, bro, I should have
Yeah.
just went into JSC, man. Like,
Yeah. I was saying to the girl guide, my girl guide group a couple of days ago that like I made a decision
Hold on.
early in the journey of Dana, you're not muted here.
Malcolm, hold on.
Yeah, mute and take the drink from the captain then. Yeah, sorry, I was saying I made a decision very early into having the grower group. And even before that, but when I do private groups, meaning I just talk to them in chat groups, I made a decision to talk in a very specific way. So like I said it first to Danai many years ago that you don't really realize if your introduction to investing is with me and you talk for a while, you don't realize that like 20% is a big deal everywhere else in the world. Like it's a really big deal. Like traders whose portfolios end the year up 20% on the US market, on the London market, on the
yeah,
crypto market, forex.
yeah, man. They got
That's a
yeah.
massive deal. I have people who are big who think they're beginners, think they're not good, and I've heard them discard options because yeah, but it was just 20%, so I never really care about that because they don't know, and I do that deliberately because it's like, if you don't know that something is, if you don't realize, as I said to them actually, if you don't realize how low the bar is, you never realize that you should be down there. So if at no point in time have I ever pushed long term to them, not that I have never said that you shouldn't invest for years or for goals that are years out, you should. But in Jamaica, the term long term tends to be
Where in Jamaica alone?
synonymous. Yeah, it tends to be synonymous with I have screwed up this investment and now I have to keep it for longer. And so I'm going to lie to myself and say I wanted this for the long term. But that's not really why you wanted it, because if you bought two things at the same time and when one of them flew 100%, you sold it and you were very happy. The one that fell 30%, you said, oh, I'm a long-term investor, blah, blah, blah. But you're not really a long-term investor. You're lying to yourself. So
Do you know what? I'm actually listening to your show. Actually, showed me that people actually have that mindset. It's actually kind of like weird to me. Not weird, like in a disrespectful way, but it's just a mindset that I never had or never thought that was like that made sense. I guess. Like, why would you buy something to hold it and then what? And then Dad made a great point, which I wanted to clarify. Like, you said like someone, like for an example, I guess you were giving like an example, and you're saying like someone buy a company and the company goes out of operations or something like that. That's mad to me. It's like, what happens after that? Like, do you just lose all your money, or is like what happens? Like, I never expected that from a company, to be honest. I've never looked at that use case.
It hardly ever happens. It's a very, very rare
And
thing.
the truth is, you often, like, there's no way you don't know it's happening.
Yeah.
If you don't know, you're actually just never looking. Buy and forget type of thing. And that's one thing I'll never do with money. Forget.
AKA long term.
Long term. Okay, it's like, again, my analogies. You have one girl treat you nice and you cut her off. But one girl gave one and you decide to, all right, we'll try to make it work and go for the next, and you go propose to her. That don't make no sense.
Keep my wife's name out of your.
Yeah, Will Smith energy, 100%.
Yeah. So literally just be honest with yourself about what you want, and it make a world of difference. And the fact that you're a coder, you're in programming, you're a programmer. That mindset helps heavily on the market. I would like to think I have that mindset. I know I have that mindset.
Yeah.
And it's that mindset that made me get into it.
Like you a while ago saying like, oh, he just feels like he should. I'm like, feels?
Yeah.
That's mad.
Yeah.
Nah, man, you can't have feelings. That's one thing I'm learning. It's not even like I've mastered it, because obviously you feel a certain type of way. We're human in it, but like that's the first principle. If you're gonna put your money somewhere, it's like in the market, it's like feelings.
It's all about the money.
Ah, yeah, man.
Market don't care how you feel.
Nah,
Exactly.
man, it will take everything. It's just unforgivable like that, man.
Yeah, ask anybody who owns Signals or anybody who bought JMMB 2 weeks ago, a week ago.
I
Yeah,
say,
man.
I say all the time. Talk to us privately. Ask us how we actually feel about Signals. It's not doom
Yeah,
and gloom. We feel very strongly
yeah,
about the company, like it and all that. Doesn't mean we're buying it.
yeah. It
If
just
it's
means that
not
we
gonna
have.
make the money,
It
Oh
don't make
yeah, I'm
sense.
I'm definitely gonna do grow though. I bought my thing for the May 29th, I believe it is. I'm gonna do that the advanced one. I can't tell you how much of these classes I've been to, but no, but like I'm just gonna step out on faith and be like, all right, cool. I can only gain from it, innit?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. And I can
And then
assure you this: I put a lot of effort into ensuring that it's really good and it's useful. It can't be a waste of time because I put a lot of my time in there and I don't have the time to waste. So
right, and
yeah.
then one thing like, all right, for me, it's mad as well. Like people wouldn't invest $85 to make, for instance, 850.
That's true.
You know what I'm
That's
saying?
true.
Like people
Yeah,
wouldn't invest 15 grand to make 150. That's mad to me.
yeah,
mm-hmm.
yeah.
Like
But
if I know the information you're gonna give me, Randy, from this group, like I know that with your information and my information, I probably can say to myself, because that's how I look at things. I pay a lot of money to get into a lot of communities. That's my shortcut to success. I pay a lot of money to talk to a lot of millionaires and try to get game, right? So for me, it's like if I can look into an opportunity and say, how much can this make me? If it can make me 10x, the investment is good.
you know what? This I don't guarantee any a number from doing grow, but I'll tell you this. In fact, I didn't have to tell you. The grow. I don't advertise grow like it will make you this. It will make you like the people who've done grow talk about what the
No,
difference it
testimonials,
makes.
100%.
Yeah,
And I've read
yeah,
them. I've read them.
yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, yeah.
Sometimes I'm surprised when I read them because I remember when I'm doing it. I don't know these people, so I don't know how it affects their lives. It's them telling me. So sometimes I see the tweets and you and me seeing it at the same time for the first time. And yeah, sometimes I get the messages and the messages are just like the what I've gotten like it make a world of difference to me. And I know it because I remember when I felt the same way when there's a shift in your thinking when you do it, and that's all I want everybody to do. And even if you don't grow, just do the research, just don't do the thing blindly. Yeah, good portfolio or bad portfolio, just don't do the thing blindly and it will work out well,
Mm-hmm.
I think, for you. Well.
Yeah, that's what
Yeah,
I refuse to do. Go blindly with my money.
I like that.
Yeah.
Tell me
You
something
know,
though.
like that.
Tell me something. You mentioned your unit trust that you bought. Do you still own it?
Hell no, man. when I when I bought that unit trust, I had all right. Let me be a little how do you say it now? Like
Hold on, Dana. Your
open.
background noisy. You can mute until you.
All right,
Then I
cool.
have the chef and everybody are coming in and I set up room
He's
now.
living life. He's
Yeah,
living
man.
life. Um, what had happened was I'd sold my unit trust. Like it just wasn't doing it enough for me. And I could have added to it. I used to use it as a savings account, but now I don't even like mess with the concept of saving anymore. So it's like,
Yeah, bun
yeah,
saving completely too.
100%, 100%. We bond that regular, like,
Bond that.
yeah,
Yeah,
100%.
completely.
Fire for that. Yeah.
Yeah.
True.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah. All my money goes like once I pay my bills, and I allocate money to my and the rest of it, allocate money to all my equity funds and stuff. I don't save. I have a one money saving challenge that I'm trying to get my friends into. Yo, I should ask you guys this. Yo, my friends, it's like since I've gotten more aggressive with investing, been more open and speaking more about it, because I've been investing, as I said, since 2016, but I've been hiding it for whatever reason, I don't know. But so now I've been open with it. I've been trying to encourage more and more people to do it, and I think I heard this conversation with you and Danhai in a previous episode where you're like, you can't convince people to invest.
Some people.
Some people, that's true.
Yeah.
Um, but like for people in our age group, my age group, I don't even know how old you are, but I'm 28, I think. Yeah.
It's like young people like Danai. Yeah.
But like for my age group, you would think, because everyone's talking about the bag, innit? Everyone's talking about, yeah, we're gonna get the bag, we're gonna get the money, rare. And the one way they can actually get the bag, no one's looking at it. It's mad.
Yeah, you know what? Is that's part of why we do the space that we do, so that people will learn it. And it has taken a little while, but I think it's people are getting it now, right? And I think younger people also are getting it, because a lot of young people, we didn't have anybody. There's no generation. Like, I'm 35. My
Really?
generation, yeah, I know.
Wow,
Is
you look
what
young, innit?
it's a filter. But yeah, um, the my generation didn't have anybody in it really teaching us about investment, and or the generation above ours, like my parents' generations, don't they don't know it at all. Like,
That's
their
all.
generation is the FinSac generation, so all they know about investing is, do not put your
Fixed,
money in that. We
fixed
lost a
deposit.
lot of money. We lost a whole heap of money in the 90s. The country almost went under in the 90s from investing. So don't
Wow.
touch it. So that's one. You see, that gap caused a lot of people to. It really created a gap in, like, our culture. So there's nobody to teach everybody else about it. So everybody thinks about stocks as this money man thing. A huge part of what I did is just explain to people, like, yo, if you have enough money to save, you have enough money to invest.
Yeah,
And people
100%.
fight back. People fight back when I say that. It sounds crazy. Like, no, you don't know what you're talking about. But I'm like, trust me, I know what I'm talking about. I'm telling you. If I tweet it, there's always somebody who will at me and talk about, oh, poor people. You don't understand. Poor people are always willing in Jamaica to explain poor people to other people. And without having any clue about who you are, we'll just tell you that, poor
Bro.
people, this and that, what them can and can't do. And then they seem to forget that, when I, at least the person in one area, when I'm saying that, talking about investing, I'm not guessing. If you have $20, you can invest. If you have 500 Jamaican dollars, you can invest. I say to people openly, like, if you're watching this, on a smartphone, you can invest. If you had enough money to buy the smartphone, you can invest. Yeah, but suppose it's a thief. All right, well, I'm not telling people to thief money and start investing. But if you have
Proceeds of
any,
crime act.
yeah, I'm definitely not telling you to do that. But if you have any money at all, it is that easy to invest, and it is better than every single other. At least investing in the stock market, especially the Jamaican stock market, is better than every single other typical form of investment that you have available to you. Every single one.
Facts. Facts.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I'm glad to hear you saying it, and you're somebody who hasn't done growth. So it's new. It's new to you, and you've seen it
Yeah,
from doing everything else, even crypto.
yeah, yeah, yeah. No, my mindset is a little different. I didn't really grow up here. I realized that your environment really shapes how you
Oh
think
yeah.
and your mind, you know. So majority the average Jamaican thinks like the average Jamaican, innit? So yeah,
Yeah, if we just
but
never thought of it as an option. So that's literally all that's being done now. A lot of regular people are learning that, yo, this is an option for you. And it's definitely better than your savings account.
no, 100%. It's
Yeah,
mad
yeah,
because
yeah.
Facts.
my father, I'm trying to get my father to go see Danhai right now, literally, bro. Like my father has managed to accumulate wealth without the stock market, and it's baffling to me, right? But it's like now he's getting older, and everyone can run the business as much. You want to travel with the wife, you want to do these things,
Yeah.
and so now this active income is a myth. Like, yeah, and then the retirement money, um that he's also ruined about that because it's not as promised, isn't it? So, and then he put this money in some fixed deposit thing, and then insurance, this,
Yeah.
the insurance
I-
he's been paying for over 30 years, it end up being mad because of inflation, and he's just at this point like kind of baffed.
yeah. And yo, sometimes that is the hardest kind of Jamaican to get to invest,
Oh,
because, yeah.
Yo.
Randy, I told him to buy Eddie Foku. I called the man. He's the first man I called because I know he has money to put into things like this. I say, yo, go on. He doesn't even have a broker's account. Go and open a broker's account. They love you at Scotia. Go and open one. You don't join lines. Go open one and
Yo,
buy
him
Eddie
have the no
Foku.
line link at
Oh,
Scotia.
oh, come on, like, come on, man,
Yo.
come on. So I'm like, yo, go and do your thing and open this thing. And the man, and on the day when I went and buy a man, skin in my teeth, calling, you open it, you bought it, it's up 300%. Nah, boy, me did put it in my calendar for do it, but boy, and it's like, you're out here crazy.
Yeah. And then hold on. The next thing they always is when they hear the returns, then they go, well, it can't last, and it can't last.
When I told him, so I gave him the math because I had a plan for EduFocal, innit? I, be more strategic with that. So I had a plan. I say, yo, we're going, we're waiting for 300%, we're out. We're doing the 80-20 rule, get 8%, whatever. Yeah.
Word.
And so I was waiting for that 300% mark, and I told him, if you put a mil, you get 3 mil. It's like simple math. 1, 2, 3. So we'll put 1 mil, 300%, 3 mil. Man's like, what? I say, yeah, man, it's so nice to him at the time, but he just doesn't want to do the extra effort to, I guess, open the account and do the research. Just, the same things you're saying. So
yeah,
it's mad.
Yeah, it's rough. I don't know. I don't know how to help that specific generation. And there are a lot of Jamaicans in that generation who have businesses, so they have a bit of money, but then they realize like they're almost tied to the business. So if they aren't in the business can't run. So like you said, they can't really step away.
Yeah.
Very. And when they get a lot of them, they know that they should put their money into a stock or whatever. Or they know they should invest. And some of them, they have enough money to invest, like you mentioned, some of those products. And then they don't know what's happening with the product until maybe 10 years on the line when it's time to cash it out. Then them go and find out that the $1 million that them put down 10 years ago is now $1,643. And they're like, what? But 10 years have passed and you can't do nothing about it. And then that sours you even more to the investing thing because you're blind to it. Yeah, so what I'm trying to do, what you hear Danhai doing, him doing this with me, everybody that you hear talking about it, we're trying to do is just raise the financial literacy at everybody. That's really what at least when I talk about financial literacy, that's what I mean. Having people understand more about money and how them can make more money. Not being scared when them hear about whatever, not just taking the person in the suit or the nice clothes at work saying, oh, we have this product rare, but actually questioning them. Understanding that that's another thing in Jamaica too. We respect our elders kind of, and we trust expertise, brother. You put them letters behind your name, we trust it. And I know enough experts to know that they are just as dunce as the rest of us. Some of them. So like if 80% of us dunce in everything, some of the experts, 80% of them dunce too. 20% really smart and about 80%. That Pareto principle is there in everything. And yeah, we just get to the point of trying to question them. And it's a weird thing. And the beauty of questioning in the finance space is that the reason I'm known is not because what I say sound good, but at the end of the day, the stock market says whether or not I'm right. Just like you, I can't say your strategy never worked because you look for 300% from the EduFocal IPO. You got the 300% by what, day 4?
Facts.
It worked. Right, and if you went in after, if you couldn't get enough in the IPO, and so you're going in the market after that, you still get enough afterwards. And even now, EduFocal is 311% ahead of where it started, 211% profit on top of the starting money. You can't knock that. Yeah, so I'm glad that you pointed it out. I look forward to seeing it grow.
Definitely gonna be there.
And I suspect you're gonna end the year very, 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 very well.
Yeah, I've strong goals.
I don't know if it's you or me, but
you're not hearing us. It's definitely you, Danhai.
Yeah, it's definitely you, Danhai. Yeah, man. Come on, you need to come back from
Yeah. You need to get one of those wonderful, one of them big antennas on the boat, brother.
Yeah. Speaking of exports, though, Randy, I wanted to ask quickly. Oh, Danhai, either one. I'm getting a lot of approach from insurance advisors talking about buy these critical illnesses and the life insurance and that. And I just wanted to ask you guys if insurance to you makes sense in Jamaica.
Then you have an official answer.
Especially all these products that they're pushing.
Then I conquered. If connection conquered. All right. Well, I'm not answering for Danhai, but yeah, my answer is this. And it's just from my personal view. If you have children, or you're married, then life insurance makes sense. You're leaving something for somebody after you die, right? I think if you're actually chopping, if you live in a life of crime, definitely get life insurance, right? And if you, like I said, if you have children, if you have, dependents, you want to get life insurance. Outside of that, like I'm a big believer in health insurance, right? Because getting sick can wipe you out. Yeah, part of the reason why I never ever think of myself as really being rich yet is because I don't know if I'm rich enough to survive X amount of sicknesses, because that can wipe anybody out. So getting insurance to help you with any serious illness is, in a way, it is investment, right? Because it don't make sense to avoid paying X amount of money a year for insurance, and then you get sick in 2 years and it wipe out all you've built up. I feel hypocritical saying this because I don't think I have enough insurance myself. And I've said that now, and that's going to lead to a whole heap of people trying to sell me insurance. Jesus Christ. I'm good, guys. I'm good. But yeah, in terms of health insurance, I believe in that. And I believe if you have dependents, life insurance makes sense. But just to buy the life insurance on its own, just because you're told to buy it, and you can use it as collateral for a house. Me personally, yeah, no, I know the script. I know the script. I know the script. Yeah, man, I know the script. But for me, that's not.
Use anything else.
Yeah, but yeah. So for me, that's not it. But for health insurance, I believe in the importance of health insurance personally. So I'm not telling anybody to do it or not do it. But for me, I believe in health insurance. And life insurance, when I'm dead, take it and burn it or whatever. I don't care. I'm gone.
Yeah, I feel the same way.
Yeah. I'm sorry. Sorry to cut you, but finally, me personally, it's a little. Oh, and there's a investment portion of the insurance. Absolutely not. Absolutely not. Yeah, no. You can do better than that. No. Now that's my personal view. All right, that's my personal view. I can't tell people what to do, but
The
yeah.
funny thing is, you're saying everything the girl said to me. That's why I'm laughing.
I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. I'm
She
so
said
sorry.
everything. Your investment
No.
portion. Yeah, you can buy a house, and I was like, all right, cool. All right, cool.
Yeah, you know what I tell people? If you want to try and sell me insurance, sell me the individual health insurance, the one that somebody can pay for themselves. I'll do that. Don't try and sell me the investment portion. I don't want it. And don't try and sell me life insurance. I don't have any dependents like that. When I die, they can take the stocks or whatever is left. But I don't. Yeah, that's my view on insurance.
All right. So my last question to you is: do you have any mentors?
Father God, I do have mentors. I have people I look up to. I don't know if they're direct, but like when you say mentor, you mean like somebody who you talk to and they can guide you in something like that?
Do you have a coach? Like my mentor, my coach usually says a person who doesn't have a coach can't coach others. So I'm just wondering if you have one.
That is true. Well, I don't know if that is true about a person who don't have a coach can coach others. I have people I look up to and I pay keen attention to what they do. So like in investing, I pay attention to a lot of what Buffett does. I go deep into it. I know this might not be the conventional answer. I pay attention to a lot of investors that have gone before me in life, not just in the local market. I look for a lot of the investment principles because you need to understand the principles because the actual look of a thing in every market will be different. So like you mentioned earlier that like you trade on technicals on the overseas markets.
Mm-hmm.
Trading on technicals in Jamaica, you actually, I don't want to say you can do it. I don't want to say you can do the shape magic, but it won't work the same way in Jamaica.
100%.
Yeah, but if you understand the principles behind some of those technicals, it can help you a lot in Jamaica, right?
Read certain things, yeah.
Yeah. And so I pay attention to a lot of that. Like one of my favorite books was written hundreds of years ago by a trader, literally hundreds of years ago.
Yeah, what's it called? Share.
Confusions. I'm always screwing up the name, but nobody alive can. Confusions is Confusions. It's reflections of a trader from the the poppy market back in the day. I'll find it and I'll tweet out the link with BrickTalk, with the hashtag BrickTalk, so people can do it. But it's just a guy from hundreds of years ago on the Amsterdam poppy market. He was a trader there, and it was just his diary. So he's just talking about things happening in the day-to-day of the market. And I love that book because when you read it, you realize that he's talking about things literally hundreds of years ago that are similar to things happening now. So there's absolutely nothing new under the sun. And then there are people within the market that I pay attention to. There are business people I pay attention to. I take inspiration from all over. I've spoken about local investors that, if you list the earnings season, you've heard and seen us interview. I almost said an interview that is not public. Sorry, you heard us interview John Jackson.
Hold on. Pause. Give me a second. I don't want to get no heat, but like John Jackson is the QWI. That's
Yes, he is. Yeah, chairman of
okay.
QWI. Yeah.
Okay. Okay.
I respect him. He's been in the market a long time. Danhai and I have said openly before on this show to like I believe that in terms of understanding the stock market, what at least the effect that we've seen from Mayberry, and I'm assuming Chris Berry's effect on the market is clear. He pretty much built more than half of the junior market. I respect that, the hell out of what he's done and what he does on the market. You still see his footprint on the market. I call it the godfather of the market, the godfather of the local stock market. But yeah, somebody day to day guided me, probably not. Don't get me wrong, I also take inspiration from my peers, right? Danhai, in many things, I talk all the time. I say I think I'm the best at the local market. And I think
Right.
Danhai,
That's why I asked you because you keep saying that.
I think
Sound
Danhai
like
might be the
I'm like,
second
who do you
best.
learn from?
So, well, I can't make Danhai pass me, so I have to stay sharp. Right? I have to stay sharp. So I see a lot of things that Danhai does, and I take from it. My brethren Swaby, who your father could have invested in his company and make a lot of money. Swaby has lots of Swaby's a special type. So you have great characters and terrible characteristics. Some of them. We have a stick to itiveness that you can't go around though. When him driven, you can't stop him. That's something that I look at that I try to improve. But if you know somebody that should be an official mentor to me, I'm open to it. But yeah.
I don't know. No one. You can only find your own mentor, my guy. You know
So
like that.
I pull in from all sorts of sources to get one until I find the one person.
But it's like I'm just trying to understand where do you get your perceived brilliance from, you know? But
well, when you talk to me, you realize that I don't think I'm that brilliant, right?
No, but that's brilliant people. They never think they're that brilliant. Like they never think they're doing enough. They never think they know enough. Like that's why you're brilliant, because you never settle. That's the traits of somebody who end up, in mastery, which I figured you've gotten close to in this whole JSC local market game.
Thank you, but I don't know yet. Check me next year, and I'll tell you if it goes so.
Next year, probably. If I asked you last year, you probably like, check me next year.
That's exactly what I said every year. Don't worry.
Yeah, I know. I got you. But respect for the conversation still.
Yeah, man.
Tuning in. See you
no problem. All right, big up blockchain chopper. All right. Danhai, I think drop off and he should be back on in a second. This Yatiman need to stay close to the coast. In the meantime, next in line, I know for sure was Jordan. Jordan inquiries.
Right, yeah. Hi, night, man. Can you hear me?
Yeah. I can hear you.
Awesome.
I'm back.
So, really, I just had two questions. One is kind of relevant, kind of in line with what you guys have been talking about tonight. But it's mainly to do with So I started off with kind of the ad hoc method of investing, where you just you like a company, you buy it, right? Like you buy from them, you buy in there. But I guess since the start of the year, I've taken a more like methodological. I've adopted that like a methodology, right? So like you start reading like the P&Ls, balance sheets, cash flow, that kind of thing. You basically go your cash flow analysis, build a DCF or like a DDM or whatever, and you go from there. So I did that for a couple companies. It seems to work out. Like for Wisinko, Grace, and JMB. But I'm in like a little spot right now with Wisinko. So I'd like.
And also JMB.
No, JMB is good. JMB is good. I sold most of my JMB because
that's why it's good.
They look like it's a good company, but there's a lot of volatility inherent with that. So I'm not gonna bet too heavily on them. But Wisinko was one of my big bets, right? So I'm really heavy in them right now. But when they hit $24, in my most optimistic case, when I was building like a DCF for them, it was that they get to like $25, and they hit 24, and I'm like, like, are they like what when a company is nearing that point at which you're saying are they really like valued at this point? Because my mid case is that they're valued like $20. I bought them in at like 17, 18. So what do you do when they're nearing that point at which you don't know if they're valid any more than it?
Well, it depends. It depends on how you invest. I don't know what you say. You've developed a methodology of your own, right?
Right. Yeah. Which is just basically like trying to gain an idea of what I guess, intrinsic value of the company is.
So I invest based on the thing that I teach at Grow, and it's heavily goal based. And not to say that there isn't intrinsic value, but I'm afraid to answer your question because I don't know if my answer matches yours. So when I don't think, ask your question again. You're asking what do I do when I don't think the company is valued more?
Than what it's trading at. Yeah. Yeah. I guess, or it's nearing to that point at which so it was trading for like 24, 23 this week. I
So
think at most it's valued at 25. Do you wait until it
okay.
hits 25?
I don't invest that way at all. That's a
Yeah,
great way to lose money. Yeah.
that
Okay.
sounds very shaky.
Yeah, I don't invest that way at all. No, if I had a reason to think that Wisynco was going to
Wisynco.
go to $25 per share, I would either wait until that thing happened to see if the effect that I'm expecting happened, or if it no longer looks like it's gonna happen, then I would get out. Yeah. So tell me something. If Sagicor, I keep saying Sagicor, sorry. If Wisynco was to go to $25 next week, Monday morning, what would you do?
All right. So ideally, I would want to sell it, but I don't have I would sell it and it would be sitting the money would be sitting down because I don't necessarily have the time to look for like another place to put it afterwards.
Why not? How busy are you?
Right. Well, I'm not that busy, but
Then you do have the time.
Time. Yeah.
You do have the time then. What do you mean?
all right. I mean,
And
it's like
especially since
when you're doing proper research into a company, like it takes proper time, and I have school and I have work,
Says who?
right?
Says who? How much time you think it take?
I guess technically speaking, if you spend like an hour a day for like a week, you could probably get some like proper progress done.
Who told you that?
we have
Nobody told me that. That's just what I'm guessing.
Jaja.
guessing.
Yo,
How long it took you to decide that Wisynco to stop for you at X price that you bought it for?
Like 2-3 weeks. But like that's when I was
Okay.
fresh. I was more like fresh into like actually looking through it because I'm just learning like how like these accounting statements are even like built, like where they even derive from.
So I find that interesting. You started with math and accounting statements.
I ended with feelings.
Yeah.
Uh
Wait, stop. Right.
no, yeah, go ahead.
So
No, go ahead,
you,
and
you,
go
you,
ahead, go ahead.
you do a DCF on Wisynco, right? What's the output of that? What does it tell you?
So when it tells me like target prices based on like 3 different cases, like, and I have like a conservative, a middle ground, an optimistic case. Right.
And
so the output is a like the value of the share.
all right. So when does that happen? When does the price? When do you get that price?
I'm not sure.
If Wisynco is at $17 when you buy it, and
Yeah.
your strong case is 25. When does it hit 25? Or you're just along for the ride until it hits that?
Yeah, essentially.
I think that's a very dangerous thing to do.
Why would you say that?
No way,
right,
bro.
so-
You can get a job off of that. What are you talking about?
Oh yeah, sure. But it's the make money off of that. That's the problem.
Yeah,
Because DCF, it's very strongly grounded in what those reports in the past say about this company, because I'm plugging it into formulas that will give me something. What happens when a company changes? What do you do when Wisynco announces its new distribution plan coming X time or whatever? How do you factor that into your method?
Yeah, exactly. That's a good point.
RBOJ changes their basis points, which has to then impact your the factor that you used in the DCF.
Mm-hmm.
Right. Well, I guess for the first point that you mentioned, Danhai, where like they buy like a new, or they open like a new distribution facility or something. I guess that would affect like the optimistic case, right?
Did
That's
it?
my
So
thinking.
tell me actually tell me how it actually affects it. What do you do then for your calculation? And again, your calculation says nothing about time. So you can be there for 20 years. You want your money 5 years ago, and it don't be 25 yet, but you're telling yourself, yeah, man, the strong case is 25.
You sacrifice the market. Unsophisticated investors.
That's typically what happens. Not for you.
Yeah.
I'm just saying that's
Yeah.
the people. Why I say it's dangerous is because it gives you one of the strongest variables you can ever get in investment is time.
Yes.
It's the make or break thing, and in the moment you take it off the table, and then anything goes.
I'll put it in a simple way
Literally.
for the regular people listening in. There's nothing in Microsoft Excel that predicts share prices accurately.
Hmm.
That's
Yeah,
the simple truth.
it's a DCF tells you X and X. What's a DCF? So what I feel like we bastardize that thing. That poor thing gets hit. You get used up and whatever. But the
Warren Buffett
truth is,
uses it all the time. What do you mean?
Warren Buffett used it for a very specific thing that is not this. Warren Buffett is buying whole companies and he's saying, am I buying the full company at X or not? He's not saying the company will go to X based on this method. He's saying, if I buy it at X, then I'm good because I believe the company is worth this much. So anything below X, anything below whatever the DCF put out, then it's good for me because I'm buying that full company, whatever. You're buying a company and being subject to the share price. You're not getting any profits out except the dividends that the directors decide that you never call them and tell them, say, I saw it go, it go pay. It's when the board meeting keep and majority shareholder and director says, so it go, then I saw it go. You're not in that room. So you don't determine how much money you get off of this company. You don't have a salary at the company. You don't get anything when you do whatever deal because you're not in that company. You are working with the share price. The DCF is not a thing where everybody run a DCF and everybody decides to buy it based on that. If that was the case, then you wouldn't have a market. You'd have everybody buying or selling at 25 until the next report come out and then do our next DCF with that report. We're looking at the future. Do not get caught up in the past too much. DCF, it doesn't tell you what you think it's telling you. It's not telling you that the price of a company will go to X because the price of the company, the truth is, it's not based on what comes in those reports. It's based on what people do at any given point. If somebody read the report and then buy the X based on the report, then that's where the report impacts it. But we know a report can come out and my money and my timelines and whatever happening there have nothing to do with that report because I need my money now. So I'm going to sell this stock at 17 and the price will go down because I'm exiting enough units. So guess what? If I sell at 17 because I need that $70 to go pay my light bill. And then now your price hold down and your DCF sell whatever, it's down at 17. Everybody starts saying, boy, this big sure that sell for 17. I jump out too. DCF not going to tell you about that. So the DCF use it where it's necessary. Use it where it actually matters to you. If you're buying a company and you think, cool, I'm cool with this company at 25 and less, because cool, I do the DCF and I feel say, all right, cool, there's a more growth in the company outside the scope of the DCF is telling me, then that makes sense. Buy it at 25 because cool, the report on the past tell me say $25 stock, whatever, cool. Then if there is more growth, then it can be a $30 stock. That's fine. To some degree, because you still don't factor in the time, you don't factor in what the rest of the market is doing. But if you're looking at DCF to tell you where the stock price going to, it does not do that.
At all. In simple terms, it tells you
It tells
if you're better off
formula.
buying the company or putting your money in government
Yes, it's a
government paper.
comparison. It's
That's all it is.
if this grow by X based on this discounted cash flows, you have to figure out what the cash flows coming in the future. and whatever. You're really looking at the past information and telling me what discounted cash flows for the future will be. That's crazy, bro. And it's not even the same cash flows that we're actually talking about. It's not the cash flows directly in the cash flow statements. Only some of them in truth, which they seem to get up and use all of them for some reason. Or
it's the top rate.
Act like we know what we're talking
Yeah.
about.
Or the top rate that you can get. The point is, those do not mistake the doing of busy work with the actual thing needed to predict share prices in the future. It is actually not difficult. You do not need to be a genius to do it. You do not need to have some fancy degree. You do not need to be like really technical. You literally just have to have common sense. And I say be extremely honest with yourself about what you want, what's happening in the market and what's likely to happen in the market. So Wisynco is a great example. I don't know what the DCF might say about 25, but I know that Wisynco has the greatest distribution network in the country. And they're heavily based in Jamaica. So any amount of increase in exports should, as long as it's profitable, should be accretive to earnings. It should help their profit. And if they continue to make their distribution network more efficient, then they will earn more from that. And then the things that they sell, the things that they distribute, are things that most Jamaicans use at some point or other. I remember in their IPO, they talk about like a Jamaican touches a Wisynco product at least once every 3 days or something like that. I'm sure that was before. That was way before COVID. That was way before we have decided to not care about COVID anymore. Everybody outside again. Carnival is back. Parties back. Everything must happen. Which part of the DCF shows you
more products?
Yeah, we think have more products since then and increased distribution. Then I mentioned them having a new depot, a new facility. Yeah, that says to me that they're making sure they cover the country even more in a more detailed way. That is actually there. Now, I'm not telling you if you can or can't sell, but if it goes to 25. Because I decide that it's a great price to buy it at 24 to 25. You might be the person who sells to me. In the next set of results come out in 2 weeks and 2 days. Thanks to my money, JA, for making that very easy for us to see. The next results come out to us in 2 weeks and 2 days, May 15th. Now, if those results come out and show that the profit has once again risen from last year, this quarter, January to March, it was 672.6 million in profit. If this year, 2022, January to March, it comes out and the profit is maybe closer to 1.5 billion, almost doubled, and everybody hears that and rushes the shares, and I, who bought it at 25, sell it in 4 weeks at 35, who made the better decision? Was it you who did all the work to get Excel to tell you that the DCF says 25 is a fair price? Or was it I who looked at the reality of the operations of the company and then look at the reality of the people in the market and plan based on that basis and actually got it sold for more after I bought it from you, by the way? Wouldn't I be better off? Wouldn't I have made the more realistic decision?
Yeah, for sure. Absolutely.
That's what you need to do. To worry less about DCF and worry more about the things around you that you know. Like just the common sense stuff. Because you already
puts in its place. Please.
Yeah, man.
Which is what it actually is for. It's not about share price prediction. It is not that.
At all.
And if you I don't know where we get this idea. It actually is a thing we do in the industry, and we use a DCF and we tell you that it's not that. The DCF was not made to tell me the price will move from X to X.
It was made for a billionaire to consider, should I buy all of this company or should I put my money in government paper? That's at its base what it was. And then somehow it got twisted into something. The guy who is famous for doing it, Warren Buffett, is also, not famous, but Charlie Munger, who is like his investment partner, has said for years that I've never seen him do it. I've never seen him do it. And Warren says, I don't do it. I just look at it in my head because it's a very simple calculation at the core of it. At the core of it is, if for the next 10 years, I put my money, and I'm making it more Jamaican. If for the next 10 years, I put my money in government of Jamaica bonds, what am I likely to make based on the government of Jamaica yield right now? Let's say 4%. All right. And if I put my money in this company, if I buy all of this company, which means that whenever it's paying out a dividend, all of that dividend is coming to me. What does that dividend look like in terms of the amount of cash that will be
compared to the money I put in there?
Yeah, compared to the money that I put in there over the next 10 years. At its core, that's what I do.
Cash flow.
Yeah. Now hold on, then I can tell you this. The experts are chomping at the bit now. Oh my God, how Randy could say that's not what it means, and they're repeating what the book says. Okay. Well, yeah, okay.
I mean, I can do math too.
Yeah, so, but pretty well too. He can do, he can do pretty well. But what I just told you is literally what it measures, right? So what you need to think, the best advice I could give you, Jordan, is think about the money you're putting in. Think about what you want for that money, when you want it, and then look at whatever the stock is, and think about if it's likely to go to that price that will give you the money you want in the time that you want. I like that you answered my question much earlier about when I said if it got to 25, what would you do? You say you'd sell. I like that you don't seem to have any issue around selling. That's a big deal for a lot of people. A lot of people don't realize that stocks are meant to be sold. That's like a big part of having them. They don't have to be sold, but they're very powerful when you hold them. And part of the power is that you can also sell them.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And if you really want to get powerful, you can be a wagonist and sell them before them get bad, and then buy them back when they're about to get good. Yeah, there's no requirement to hold them forever. So I like that you speak about selling, and I like that you don't seem to have an issue with selling. So that is
he doesn't even have an issue with being real himself. He's talking about this is what I've been doing, whatever, and this is what I want from it. And the question he asks is directly, is really asking, all right, this is my reality. Am I looking in the right direction? It's not, boy, this is DCF and I'm gonna run down and tell you that DCF is the thing to do, whatever. You're actually looking for the best method you can work for your goals and whatever. So you read yourself. I would say look at the method and look at what you want from the market, what you want from the stocks you're going into. Start with there. It's not what the stock can give. What the stock can give is secondary to hold what I want. What you want from the market, can the stock give it? And then I wouldn't say DCF is the way to determine if the stock can give it. Especially, DCF works. I think you already said about thing there. If you were to say I'm a dividend investor, and the likely dividend based on the company doing this and whatever for the next X amount of years is this, because that's my return from putting in the market and there's the money me get in my pocket, then DCF might work for you there.
Yeah.
And it's still compared to maybe I go somewhere else and get better if I want better. But DCF is not this way move from X to X. DCF can be factored in. Your cash flow you get from selling can be factored in there. But you have to figure out now why I can sell it like that. What would make people to buy? But as Randy say, suppose he's a guy buying from at 25. What would make somebody buy we think from me at 25? The market not going to move based on you wanting it or the DCF will do. It's going to move based on whatever factors that would cause somebody to buy it from you at 25 when you're selling it at 25.
And that's the reality of the market. And once you're honest with yourself about the reality of the market gets a whole lot easier. A whole lot easier. The second you get realistic with yourself about the reality of the market. Can't stress that enough.
All right, fair enough. I guess I'm not weighing in enough qualitative aspects into what I'm doing. It's all just based on the statements. And you're right, it's just historical stuff. There are limits. There are definitely limits.
There are hard limits to it.
In the future.
Man.
Me and Randy we've said it often about the year kind of feel like we move fast, or we feel like we're in May. And I think a lot of that has to do with we buy now and we're looking at this timeline that's in the future. We're very focused on that. So we're a step ahead of ourselves. Yeah, that's where you make the money. It's nothing to do with the report that came last time. All right, I'm going to say that better. The report that came last time matters, but not to the level of, in the future, this will happen. It's almost never, the report 2 years ago said this, and the one after that said this, and the one after that, so I can make a decision. No. That's not how that works. It's the market will move to this based on this thing that will happen in the future, because that's what people think that. People, we hear people react to earnings all the time. People react to big news all the time. So if you can figure out those things in the future, then game change.
Yeah.
Those
And
in the past.
Yeah, and it's there are hundreds of examples on the market of the reality of the market being the thing that's predictable, and there are hundreds of examples on the market of results being the thing that does not in any way, shape, or form matter to the majority of the people, right? Cygnus is the ever living example, right? Cygnus, I think Cygnus is going now, I think it's 4 quarters straight now. I just profit record after record after record profit.
And
Yeah.
I see more record profit coming.
Of course. I mean, look at 2021's Q1 profit. 1.5 million US compared to 797,000 US the same quarter the year before, right? That Q1 report came out. That Q1 report came out January 17th, right? And it's January 17th. I want to get the date right. That Q1 report came out, no, the full year came out January 17th. The first quarter also came out then. Wow. And if you look at the share price around that time, it's a nice little drop. And it stays down. And the second quarter report came out, and that was also a strong profitability. It was 953,000 US versus the same period the year before, more than double the profit from the year before in US dollars. Guess what the share price did right after that? Drop and stays down. Now, granted, they helped themselves to stay down because of that APO that they did a little while back, but that is also further proof that it's not the results that move the market, it's not the results that matter. It's the ability to be honest with yourself and predict the reality of the market. Pay attention to the factors that actually matter. That will make you money every single time. I'm living proof for it. Danhai is living proof for it. The hundreds of people that have done grow are living proof for it. So pay attention to the reality of the market, not the fancy calculations. I assure you, almost none of them that you do are going to be very good predictors of future profitability, except maybe PE ratio, and even that has its limitations.
All right, fair enough. Thank you. I had a second question. And that's basically, I'm sure that everybody here has been looking at, the US market, and
You're sure that everybody has?
I hope so. I
doubt it.
Why?
Well, let me keep going. But in 2008, like
no, man, that's important. Why did you say everybody is?
Why do you hope so?
I mean, well, I'm just assuming that everybody here is kind of investment minded. It's a big market.
The JSC, if you're a Jamaican, is much better than the US market. It is an infinitely better place for you to put your money.
I tend to agree. I'd agree. It's a smaller market, so like growth is, and we're undeveloped country, so growth is easier.
We're an undeveloped. We're an undeveloped country. Easy, my lord. No, sir. Be easy with that.
Okay, all right. I don't know if I'm touching on any toes right now, but
you got that hard, bro.
That's my opinion.
Of course. But every country has growth left. But
not
anyway,
like us. I don't know if like us. I'm not sure.
True,
I'm not sure if I agree like us.
True. We have great opportunities for growth. Agreed.
But before there's a sub arguments you can have about that. But I really want to get this out. So basically in 2006, 7, 8, when the market in the US was taking a huge plunge, I was looking at some old like JC reports, and they were showing like, I guess, fairly strong correlation with that. We felt the fallback from it. So I'm wondering, like right now, I'm seeing there've been a lot of reds. Is that like connection still there? Like, are we?
The connection wasn't there to begin with. The connection wasn't there to begin with. That was another thing that you decided on your own.
Okay.
Yeah, I think I'll say it. You should come to grow. It will help you, first of all, just understanding what sets share prices. It is not a connection to the US market. If you thought there was a connection to the US market with the Jamaican market, you should be throwing all your money in the Jamaican market anytime the US market move, man. And pulling all your money out whenever the US market dropping. Why are you asking about Wisynco now? You should probably be running.
Well, yeah, that's what I'm asking about, really. So you don't think that they're like linked like that?
No, not even
No.
slightly. No.
And like, what's like what?
Remember
Why
again.
would you think that?
Why would you think that
Why
there's
would
a
I think
link?
that? Yeah, you're the one. You have another hypothesis. You're the one saying something exists.
Yeah.
Okay, all right, fair enough. I guess my thinking for why I believe they're linked is that, you know, we get a lot of remittances from the US. That's like our second highest earner of like revenue, and you know, tourism. Both are like, so I I don't want to say it, but I think that the stock markets and you know, growth for economy are linked. I think that's pretty commonly like believed. The US market right now, they reported like yesterday or the day before that they contracted by like 1 point something%. I've been looking at the stock market for a little bit. Like there've been like a lot of reds consistently. I'm pretty sure the Nasdaq is down to like what the level was in like 2020, late 2020 or something like that. So that's my thinking. Like, is this a predictor of like, will there be a recession? I don't know. I'm not sure.
No.
I can't predict that.
No.
But if there was, would that fall back on our market? That's my question, really.
No. Sorry, let me hear that part about the fallback. Say that again.
Right. So if there was, like, if there would be like, you know, a stock market crash or like a significant fall in the value of like US stocks, would that like would that reflect in our market? And why or why not?
On the basis of
Sorry, what was that, Danhai?
is and or no, I'm saying no, a crash or a significant.
I'm sorry.
Danhai, yeah, sorry. No, it's not you. It's not you. Danhai, you on that yacht again, brother. Sit down close to the router or ask the captain to come closer to the coast. You can hear us, Danhai?
I can hear you. Can you hear me?
Yeah, we're hearing you fine.
Yeah.
All right. So yeah, I'm saying no. The market falling is a consequence of investors in the market pushing the price down through whatever action. It doesn't mean they're going to come in here and push the Jamaican market down. The market doesn't fall by itself. It doesn't work like that. The market isn't a thing that exists in the ether and then we just ride the waves of it. we're active participants in the market. When we buy a stock, we influence the share price. That's the truth. When we sell a stock, the same. Every single stock, the movement of all of those is what you call the market. So the average movement of all the stocks on the market is what calls, oh, the market is up or the market is down. The average movement of the stocks on the US market are down, so whatever. And each of those stocks have their individual reasons for why they are down. The market doesn't move down, and every single stock within it start drop. The stocks drop, and then you report that, oh, the market is down because this amount of stocks move down and cause this average movement in the market down.
Yeah.
No, but wait, hold on. Are you saying that they're completely linked? Like
let me explain something to you. Hold on. Let me explain.
Economy, or like
yeah, man. No, let me explain something to you.
Oh no,
Jordan. No. Go ahead. Well, all right. Since I cut you, Jordan, I know. Then I was going to cut you because I know you're saying again, analysts blasphemy because you have to say that they're linked, right? I see somebody on YouTube saying, Rick Ross saying, what they are linked? What the hell?
They're people.
Yeah, they're people. But let me tell you at this rate. I think at the core of it, Jordan, what you're actually saying now is funny because it's linked to your actual first question. It's clear to me that you don't know what moves share prices. Now, I didn't want to ask that during it because you come to grow, you'll learn what moves share prices. But at the core of it is people, right? Think about this, Jordan. What would make the Jamaican market crash? When the Jamaican market crashes, that's the combined market. The combined market, the index of it would fall, right? Let's say it falls 20%, yeah?
Right, yeah.
All right. What would make the combined index of the Jamaican market fall?
If the average company is falling in value.
all of the companies or the largest weighted companies fall at least 25%.
Right, yeah. The companies with the biggest weightings fall.
All right. And what makes those things fall?
Right. So that would be that investors are driving down the price by selling it lower and lower.
All right. The US market right now has been falling for the past 2 weeks, and really and truly it has been tanking kind of for the past few months, depending on how you look at it.
True.
Why didn't you sell your Wisynco then?
Because I don't know, right? I don't know.
No, let me tell you why. Because your decision to buy and sell a stock on the local market is not influenced by what's happening on the US market. That's why. The decision for people to buy Edufocal, the decision for people to buy Edufocal at IPO, and the decision for people to buy Edufocal a month after IPO for 300% more is linked in literally no way to what is happening on the NYSE. We have our own market. Yeah, it is a reflection.
I'm buying Edufocal, not because the US is doing whatever.
Exactly. It is a reflection of the local market, the local companies, the local investor sentiment. No, if there is something that affects the Jamaican market and also happens to affect the US market, then sure, it will fall. But do not, that's why I'll tell you, do not confuse correlation with causation, right? Do not think that the war in Ukraine affect wheat prices. Companies that sell wheat products can't have any sales and their revenues and profits have fallen. And so the wheat companies in America, revenues and profits fall. And then the wheat company in Jamaica, revenues and profit fall. And the share price for the wheat company in America, people start selling it lower. So it obviously has fallen too. And then the same wheat company in Jamaica, the share price for that also fall. It would not be because the wheat company in America's share price fell why the wheat company in Jamaica's share price fell. Even though the core reason that affected the companies are the same, it's not the same thing that that moved the share prices. So I know it's a crazy idea. Yeah, it's a crazy idea, but if you agree with it, then you agree with us in that they're not linked.
But all right. So what my thinking right now, I've been trying to follow what's been going on with US, and I think you could kind of see it from a bit away what was going to happen with them. They had pretty high. Their household, like the private debt rate was going up and up and up, and that's
no offense,
but that's not really what I want to use. What I'm saying is that I think that what the US saw was a supply shock, like a negative supply shock. Right?
I don't think so, but I don't care. I don't know what that means. So? What does that mean? That don't mean anything. What do you mean by what's a negative supply shock?
So the price of raw materials increased because of a shortage.
And that affected Facebook how?
Not about Facebook. I'm saying the average.
No, hold on. But you said that matters. So how did that affect Facebook?
My thinking why that would matter is that led to a contraction in the. I think that a contraction in the economy is linked to a contraction. Is linked to an economy, a contraction in the stock market.
And
I can't say no to that. I can't say no to that.
Sometimes
however,
it can. But yeah, and in a contract, companies are affected when the economy is affected because the economy.
Right.
Companies are the economy.
It's a reflection of the companies. It's not the next way around. The economy doesn't shift and then the companies get a box. If the companies take a box and we report that the economy took a box. That's
Agreed.
It's not the next way around.
So companies are the economy and people are the economy. Yeah, that is the economy. Yeah. So the two aren't separate. They're the same thing by a different name from a different view. So
I think we're in agreement with that. Yes.
But I'm saying if you keep agreeing with our core concepts, then you have to agree with the offshoot of those core concepts. You get me?
But I guess how I word my question is I'm saying, okay, like line goes down in the US means line goes down in Jamaica. That's not really. I guess that's how I phrased it. But that's
no, you didn't. Sorry, don't misunderstand. I understood your question perfectly.
We understood you.
I just
misunderstanding you.
Yeah, I just made the analogy. It's no that when you hear the analogy, you're thinking, well, that don't make sense. That's not what I meant. But that's what you said. You're saying to me that a movement in the U.S. stock market, a downward movement in the U.S. stock market, is in some way linked to a downward movement in the Jamaican stock market. That's a common idea, but it's common rubbish. It ain't true.
Correlation.
So you don't think that whatever caused that movement down in the US is going to affect us?
Not always.
No,
Not
hold
always.
on. Not
I
always,
agree.
yeah.
And what is the actual effect of the thing that caused that for us
Yeah.
locally? If the effect is the same here and there, then sure we get the same movement. But again, the effect of that thing doesn't make that's a core. You're making. I Randy said don't get caught in correlation because the effect of the thing is X. It doesn't make every single case of that. No, of every single case that causes the effect in the US happen here. Something can
Yeah.
happen in the US and it affects them negatively, and somehow we're fine, and in our market is
Yeah.
fine.
In
Or
fact,
maybe
in
it
fact,
affects a small amount of companies, and most are we good.
yeah. In fact, you can flip it the other way. Look at this is not a perfect example. I know the experts are dying here, but okay, it's not a perfect example. But think about what happened with the fuel market and the dip in a lot of oil company share prices once the war in Ukraine was announced, and the rise in oil prices. And then think about what happened on the local market with our one directly fuel exposed listing, Fesco. Fesco went
Or
through the
look on the thing
roof.
there. Look on what you call it, the same supply shock where America has most of their imports coming from a certain place, from certain places, and it's hard to get, and the prices are going up. And then you hear Jamaican companies saying, "Well, the American market is right for us because we can provide those same things at increased prices that we usually give them, but it's still less than they usually get over there. So we get
Yep.
more money that way." And
Yep.
suddenly, a lot of those companies are doing better because they can supply the US market to cover the gap that the US is feeling, and it's still beating them.
Yep. JFP is a great example. JFP actually said
Exactly.
that they expected to make
Ready.
one of their advantages now is because of the supply chain troubles that America and the greater Americas region was feeling. And so they think
Look at
that they
Kingston
might be able
Wharves.
to jump into that. Kingston Wharves is the same thing. Jamaica Producers is the same thing.
JP.
Yeah. Look at those opportunities that have come for it. So yeah, no, the markets are not linked in that way. And if an expert tell you that, that's lazy analysis. And I understand if somebody's just watching news and thinking it. I'm not knocking you for that thought, Jordan. But it's a good question, and the answer is very clear, at least from our stance. No, they're not linked. Our market stands on its own and reacts to the things that we react to. Because
So
we are the
examine
market.
the things, dig deeper. Don't look at the market and the market move and then stop there. Why the market move? Will that Y remain the same across here? Or how does that Y affect us? Maybe it can be by the same supply thing. Maybe it's bad. But actually look at that and then predict basing, not always weak correlation, in my opinion.
Okay. Yeah, I agree with
Yeah.
your thinking.
And
Yeah. Okay. I see what you're saying. Yeah, I'm seeing it because not
man.
necessarily it won't affect it in the same way. You're right. Okay. All right. Thank you.
All right, big
Yeah,
That's
up.
a
so
pretty good
it
explanation,
can
guys.
affect it. Yeah, man. Good.
Yeah,
Yeah,
but
man. Respect.
sometimes, but not
I
always.
really like the
Sometimes, but
question.
not
Actually, really like the
always.
question.
I was
No,
saying, yeah,
Go
I
ahead.
agree. It can affect it, but what you're saying is effectively sometimes, but not always.
yeah,
Yeah.
and to be
Yeah.
clear,
So actually look at reasons. Dig deeper.
yeah, to be clear, it's not the US market that affects it, but the same core things that might affect the US market can affect our market.
Yeah.
I guess another question. Well, I don't know how much question I can ask,
Yeah.
but
Go through,
you
man. Go through, man. Go through.
right. You said something a little bit earlier, which is that it's the decisions of individual investors that like affects the price of a typical Jamaican company's stock. Is that the
100%
truth?
true.
Is that the
100%
truth?
true. 100%
Like
true.
what about like
100%.
large? I never actually looked
100%
at the
true.
numbers. I've never actually looked at
A
the numbers, but like
large,
No,
large.
a large investor is an individual investor. It's still a person behind that trade.
it is 100% true. It is
Don't
100%
take
determined by
individual
local
investors to
investors.
mean a random man on the guy on the road, or the retail investor. We're talking about every single investor. Each of them have different weight, different
Okay.
information, different
Okay.
power, different money. We all come together and affect the market in different ways.
What I was thinking was that when you said individual, you meant like a retail investor. Because
A
then I was
retail
wondering,
Retail
investor,
affect it. Retail affects it.
yeah,
does
It's just
it?
not necessarily
yes,
definitely.
yes, 100%.
If all the if I come you can always you can tell it. If you check the trades for a day, you can tell when the retail people are running up a price because, or sometimes you even know the people buying at a higher price because of an expectation for it. Trust me, yeah, and we see that retail effect very heavily.
Yeah.
It
You
like
understand?
applies
But
like pretty
close to the side,
broadly.
we're talking how small the market is.
It doesn't
That's
apply pretty broadly. It applies 100% across the board. Retail investors are the most influential thing on the local market. They're the most powerful thing on the local market. We determine the prices. Retail set the prices. Institutionals can move the volumes sometimes, but we set the prices. You can tell when the day when a big institutional sells to a big another big institution, on that day they determine the price. Every other day after that, retail.
boom, retail.
Yeah, retail
Fair,
is the power in the
fair.
market.
The institutional guys, I think they do much less than you think they do in
Significantly
terms
less.
of the
Maybe.
regular trading and every single. No, not maybe. I know this for a fact. They do way less than most people think they do.
But them suits fit good though, boy.
And
Yeah.
I love them for what they are.
Yeah. I pray to continue to always remain predictable
Oh
because
yes.
yeah. Let the money flow that way. But anyway, thank you very, very much. I don't want to take up too much time. I think we give you a whole heap of questions. And we've had the Grammy nominated producer Boomjar Physics waiting for a while.
Ah yes.
Yeah. So what's up, sir? How you doing?
Night everybody, night Wagwan. It's been a really
What's all going?
it's been a really great talk so far, especially like against the backdrop of the topic. I think that the discussion is definitely a bit more diverse and well, it's diverse all the time, but we're in definitely like territory I don't think I've heard before, like in a discussion. Well, the ones I've caught,
Big up, big up, big
Things
up.
I almost miss
you
it.
know.
Right, yeah, right. And to think I'm sitting here wondering, yo, is it good enough? But it's always hard on my side. I'm always thinking about if it's great on my side. But I'm
No, bro,
glad to hear that.
it's great, bro. Trust me, like it's like it's non-stop gems, you know what I mean? And I think that when you talk about like the benefits of Grow or the benefits of My Money JA, I don't really think that people who are listening who haven't experienced these things that you and your team have built, they don't really understand. Like, you're not just up here like wasting your breath, you know what I mean, or trying to sell a class. Like, you're building like tools that are making people a lot of money, you know what I'm saying? And I can say that you know what I mean, when I did beginner grow and advanced grow, like I've already, you know, I just did the March advanced grow, I've already made back my money, like, you know.
Word. Thank you for the free ad,
Nice.
sir.
No, you don't know, but so I really want to start with first saying fire upon savings account, and then secondly
100%
saying
true.
fire upon Wall Street and New York Stock Exchange, you know what I mean? That's just my losses talking.
I don't know about the second
You know.
one. I don't know what the exchange
I
fire,
don't know what's
but
going on at all, but
yeah,
No,
but bond savings
in
account.
terms of like having the ability to easily trade on both, and then I really just prefer JSE, you know what I mean? And I thought, you know, maybe I could kind of ride the wave on Wall Street and thing, but it's too volatile over there for me, knowing that
Yeah.
there's stocks really going crazy on the local market with way less volatility, you know what I mean?
Oh, yeah.
And
No.
you know,
I always interrupt to say this. I'll be clear so people don't get it wrong. If you are a Jamaican living in or investing in Jamaica, or you understand Jamaica, so you're not a Jamaican, you're actual Jamaican. Even if you're a Jamaican, you're close enough. If your parents come from Jamaica, the Jamaican stock market is a better stock market for you to invest in than any other stock market, including the NYC and the Nasdaq and all of that. It is the effort to profit ratio on the local stock market is much lower than every other stock market. You can make 100%
facts.
here. Like the work it takes to make 100% predictably. I'm not talking about luckily. Predictably on those advanced markets is completely different. And even if you go luckily, we don't even have 100 securities yet. Last year, more than half of the securities ended the year positively. So even if you never did know you did a bet across the board, more than half of your bets would have paid off. The US market can be a painful market for many. So I say it clearly, much better, not even slightly, much better market.
Last year around June-ish, July, I suck up a fat like 50% loss on on Wall Street, and then I say I'm gonna low out that, and then I was in the US for a bit, dealing with some family things. So I said, you know what, I'm gonna start back, and that was like last quarter last year. Boom, suck up our next like 60% loss. You see me? So
Jesus.
Yeah.
and it wasn't like a bag of money, but it was a significant change. You know what I mean? So the
Yeah.
topic of the space is portfolio woes,
Yeah.
but and so
It's a
what?
good point you're making, brother. I gonna add to your point.
So
I keep cutting you. While I
no,
add to
you're
your
good,
point.
man.
Danhai, you see this? Let me tell you something. Because I've said it before. People who listen know. I play around on the US market just to always keep fresh. I pay attention to market. You see that little drop here? I was talking to my girlfriend and I said to her on Thursday, Amazon went up before the earnings call. And I look at it and it was up and I said, I should sell. And I looked at all the other signs and I just say it off a feeling. There was a feeling also. So I'm not knocking feelings. But I also looked at the other signs and I said, I should sell now. But I mean, I'm in it to learn and to keep my thumb on what's happening there. Brother, I mean, literally next time I open it, this drop, this look at look at this. It burned me a
It's a
fret.
sea of red, bro.
It burned me a fret. Now, of course, they'll tell you that. I mean, Amazon is strong. The guidance is it might have been
That don't
weaker,
change the
but
money.
look at the drop, brother. Look at that huge cliff. This look like JC in March 2020. This drop it hot your fret, and this is the Amazon that everybody uses, right? So yeah, I just adding to your point because you say it, and it burned me, but I'm in it for the long term, so it's okay. anyway, what were you saying? Sorry, I just had to cut you and say that.
No, it's all good. So then, so following that most recent loss, I was just like, you know what, I'm done with it, and I'm really just gonna focus on JSE because it's like what the 3 months I was focusing on Wall Street is like I stopped looking at the wheel upon JSE. You always like to use like the vehicle metaphor. So it's like I stopped looking at the road upon JSE and I was focusing on Wall Street. So it's like I end up in a 2-car accident,
Yeah, damn.
But so I mean the JSE one was more like, a drunk driver hitting me still because my JSE loss recently was on Carib Cement, which was like my largest position at the time.
Woo. Boy got buried.
Yeah, and it's a thing, and it's a lesson. It just showed me how much more I had to learn because I'm pretty recent in as an investor, you know what I mean? So my first year investing was October last year. That was my 1 year anniversary. And I was feeling really good about myself. I did 50% on my whole portfolio my first year trading. And I said, I said, Ross, say, yeah, man, I catch the hang of it. I did my beginner grower. I keeping up with the news feed. I reading my statements and thing, and I'm buying more Carib Cement. I'm buying more Carib Cement because I buy them from like 88. Earlier last year, I say blood clot, say Carib Cement. I go, and like I was confidently saying to myself and like my friends in casual conversation, I say, yeah man, Carib Cement, I got 200 next year. I was I was fairly convinced of that. Leading up to the fourth quarter last year, and then
As was I actually. So you and me on that same boat because Carib Cement was headed for I don't know if it was
Carib Cement
200.
made me a lot of money, and I expected to make a lot more.
Yep. And then came November.
And it's like it's also and then it was a lesson for me in getting sharper about setting my goals, because what happened to me was like I was about to take profit on Carib Cement from the previous report, and I put in my sell, and the peak of the day literally missed it by like $1 or something, you know what I mean? And I decided not to sell. I said, I'm just gonna go and hold it and buy more, So, I was buying from like 88, then they go 145 or something like that. My sell was at like 147. And then me say, you know what, I'm just gonna go and hold it, So I even bought more at 117, And when I bought at 117 is when I say, you know what, I'm gonna stop, use little change and buy. I'm gonna really start swing some cash because, like I said, I was feeling good from my first year trading, and
no good thing that though.
And and I still appreciate concentration more than diversification. Me personally, no. But yeah, so suck up the loss on Carib Cement. The day it happened, and Chris Berry was was making his tweets, and I was just like, damn, like Chris Berry is blindsided by this. So I can't even be mad at myself say it happened to me, you know what I mean? But then I wasn't really sure what to do, because I was almost having a fever that day, watching them plummet 30%, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Knowing that I just bought at 117, so I do most of my own trading, you know what I mean? So I call my closest like investing brethren, and he's losing his shit, he's losing his shit too, you know what I mean? So I'm like, yo, bro, like I don't know how to feel right now. He's like, bro, I don't know how to feel either. So then I called my actual advisor at my broker now. Then him give me the broker suit talk, and I was like, well, this is just 1 year, and Ray, in the future, XYZ. And I'm just like, yo, brother, I'm a young youth, brother. I'm not trying to, look like 5 years into the future, bro. I'm trying to like make these like quarterly swings or whatever. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So then what happened to me was that, the sunk cost fallacy really happened to me, and like I was just afraid to sell. I kept on hesitating on selling, and then the sadness from the loss kind of also made me, again, which is what I shouldn't have done, kind of take my foot off the gas. And I was kind of just like looking at JTrader every day. I wasn't doing any more move ups to figure out, what am I going to do after this. I was kind of like stuck, just because like, this is my first like serious loss, you know what I mean? Where I made losses on trades in my first year, but I wasn't using a lot of money, you know what I mean? So after my first 12 months, I said, yo, I'm gonna really start dipping at the piggy bank and putting on the market. I'm still, and even with the loss on Carib Cement, I'm still up overall. You know what I'm saying?
So wait, are you still in it?
No, so that's what I was gonna say. So it's funny that this was the topic of the BrickTalk today, because I just exited. I just worked up the courage to finally exit Carib Cement today.
Word, you stayed in it.
Yes, I averaged down actually.
Okay.
I averaged down so that I could minimize my loss when I decided that I was gonna sell eventually.
Word.
But when all of my brethren was jumping out, when you say you would jump out, I was still there. Like maybe I can minimize the loss some more. That didn't happen.
Yeah,
but,
damn.
So I made it. So ultimately, I made it out with like a 32% loss.
Okay.
So I have to make back like 46% to get back to where I started. Something
like that. Yeah.
Somewhere in that ballpark. And the thing is that the hesitation even happened up to recently, where like I even made a tweet where I said, yo, I could kill off my Carib Cement and jump in at SVL. But I didn't. I still hesitated, primarily because I hadn't done my move up on SVL yet, and I didn't want to just, I was avoiding the accidental thing like what you're talking about. So I don't want to move without actually going through the process that I want to go through,
I get you. And that makes sense, by the way. I mean, you don't want to make the emotions guide you into making a move that you have not thought through properly. Emotions are okay. You should feel them. We are human. We're going to feel them. As I say in the grower group, I think up to today, as I say in the grower group, I say in the grower group up to today that like you feel the feelings, and I'm paraphrasing, I didn't say exactly this, but you feel the feelings, but they shouldn't be the thing that guide you, right? The thing that guides you when you're in a bad situation needs to be a set plan to get out. And a lot of times also what a lot of people do is that, I see the loss, and you mentioned it, you're right, the emotions of it hit you, and it kind of break, whereas if you're not good before, it kind of broke your vibes wickedly, right? And so you stop looking. You kind of just stop look. But just pay attention to something else. Yeah, I was joking with Danhai. Danhai had to drop off. I think the yacht moved further out to sea. But I was joking with Danhai. I think in 2020, say after a while, people stopped talking about stocks on Twitter. So they all talk about arts and craft and side hustle. I'm saying no, man, that's weak. And them yeah, I'm saying that's weak. That's weak. You never you never mean this thing. And I laugh because like a year before that, they were saying a smooth sea doesn't make a sailor, You'll know the sailors when the rough seas come, and they were right. The rough seas came, and then them turned into gardeners. No. What does that have to do with what we're talking about? I felt the same thing with you. As you mentioned, I mentioned jumping out. So if anybody's listening sharply, keen would have heard that. I also was in it, and I was expecting a lot for Carib Cement. I mean, I did Carib Cement for a little while. I grew up to the people picked that and we spoke about it. Construction was booming. Construction in Jamaica can't boom without Carib Cement feeling it. It was going great. And then late November, we get a sudden drop. Not based on the fundamentals. No fundamentals could have told you this. You need common sense to tell you this. And then it came out, as you mentioned, Mayberry spoke about just their displeasure with the royalty situation that the majority shareholder of Carib Cement was implementing, where they're essentially getting what is akin, an amount of money each year that would be very similar to getting a dividend, but it's not a dividend, it's a royalty payment. And so everybody else who is in the stock, and they're scraping it off the top. And everybody else who is in the stock is not getting a dividend. Carib Cement has not paid a dividend in years. In literally, I think 16 or 17 years, something like that. 15 or 16 years, they have not paid a dividend. Even when they've made record profit and they're actually able to pay a dividend since, I think, 2020, they have not paid a dividend. And then they come in with this royalty payment. Now that things kind of look better with the company and they're growing, they come in with a royalty payment that allows the majority shareholder to be getting money from the company, but the rest of the shareholders not getting a dividend. And so Mayberry, in this case, is a strange situation in that a large fund like MJE, which at the time was the largest Jamaican owner of Carib Cement, was in a situation of a minority shareholder. That's not a common situation for them to be in, I would think, right? Because they're such a massive fund.
And not just that, but Carib Cement made it look like they were going to pay the dividend. Like, they put out announcements and they really made you feel like, say, yeah, man, that's a go on.
Well, I think that might be you. I think for me, like, you ever see the hot girls on Twitter? I follow out the hot girls on Twitter, and they're always like, oh, if a boy is going to do something, he'll just do it. When it comes to listed companies, it's the same way. If they're going to do it, they're not going to yap about or they're thinking about it. They just do it. If they were going to pay a dividend, they would have come out with a dividend consideration. Not a consideration to form a committee to put together a proposal to do a policy in the event that we pay it. Like, come on. Right? From I saw that, I know they weren't going to do one, right? And then when the royalty thing came out, I was like, oh, that's a slap in the face. However, and I am saying this because on my side, this is actually a great story of people always when I talk about loss. It's not a loss for me, but I lost massive gains because I knew that they weren't really, in my heart and in my common sense, from the things I know they weren't going to pay a dividend from them start the waffling. Right? In the same way with the girl knows saying that, me, they'll buy you a house. If you did that, you weren't gonna buy him a house. Shut up. You weren't gonna do that. In the same way, I know they weren't going to pay a dividend, but I stuck with the stock because everything else about it was good and the excitement was good, right? And I'm figuring, I thought that they might actually do something where there's either a buyout situation or they're gonna raise some money, maybe a rights issue or that sort of situation. So I'm waiting it out. That's greed, And then of course, Mayberry acted. They started to sell, and they sold, and they put out their notice. They put out a public notice and their newspaper articles where the publicly stated that they're in opposition to the royalty payment from the Carib Cement, right? And so they continue to sell. And just to give you a little history for the people who might be watching or listening and don't know, like if you're watching, you've seen it on screen now where the one of the execs from Mayberry, Dan Theoc of ex-JPS fame. Remember JPS, by the way. Anyway, that Dan Theoc of that fame, that he pointed out that, they're having an issue with it, and that's why they were selling. And of course, when that major sort of company, the largest local shareholder in Carib Cement, starts to sell, it's going to affect the share price. As I said a couple minutes before, retail investors, we set the share price. But the majors, the institutional investors, they have the volumes. And when they move, that's the giant moving. You can't stop them. And the giant moved in late November and dropped it from 100 odd per share in a few days to 70 odd per share, which is like where it started the year, brother. Hurt my heart, right? I tell you, hurt my heart twice, though. I saw that, and from I see that I'm out, because I know better. When the giants are fighting, I can't win. So I jump out, right? And I saw what's happening, and I thought maybe they were done, and the price started to rise. I said, oh, let me try and grab that. Let me buy the dip, right? Jump back in, and them start sell again. That was a double lesson for me. But the second part, I felt good about it, meaning the buying back in. What I felt good about was my decision. You see, the second I realized that the selling never done, no hesitation on my part. I was proud of myself. I immediately get out. And I'm getting out at that point at a loss. Meaning for that second buy, I'm getting out at a loss. But no, that don't bother me. Like that sort of thing don't bother me. I jump out, no issue. And put my money elsewhere, right? I think a lot of the money from here actually went into CPJ and Dolphin Cove and so on.
And yeah, so you're laughing,
Laughing, but so for me, I think one of the reasons why, and earlier when Danhai was on, he was saying it, one of the reasons why it's not a big deal for us, that sort of decision on my part, that's a regular decision. That's part of what we do. So it's not a big deal to me. And granted, I've been doing this for a while, and I still make mistakes, like choosing to stick around when I know better. And choosing to allow, your feelings to keep you in. But then when I make the decision and I'm out, and it's looking for a new vehicle to help me to recover, right? CPJ helped me to recover. Dolphin Cove helped me to recover. And I was fine with it because I understand what's happening. And yes, the fundamentals of Carib Cement are still strong. They're still making hella profit. If you saw their latest set of results, I found two things interesting with the latest results. The profit is still growing. And if you look for that line, they actually have the line, I believe, of the royalty in there. I saw it highlighted somewhere. I don't remember who highlighted it for me. Somebody highlighted it, as in one of the grower grads highlighted it. But it's a big chunk. It's a big expense, big expense in my view. And so I have to say that Mayberry was correct. Here we go. Royalty and service fee, 133 million is what they paid out. 133 million. If that was not in there, profit, instead of being 1.5 billion, would have been 1.6, 1.7. It would have been so much bigger. 133 million paid out as a royalty. They could have paid that out as a dividend. They could have paid out even more as a dividend, would have been all in fine. But them instead choose to do it. So I think Mayberry made the right decision there, acting like a retail shareholder. I think this is the year of retail retail investor, minority investor at least at the time. And yes, screw Carib Cement. I'm out too. I'm happy to be out. And the point I'm making here is that getting out at the time is like realizing that the vehicle is crashing, and then after a point you're not trying to save it anymore. You're just getting out. And after you get out, cool, the car just crashed. We can bawl and scream and go, why? Or the car already crashed. No amount of screaming is bringing it back. Now we have to figure out how to afford a new car. It's that simple. And so that don't mean that you don't feel bad about it, but feeling bad is not going to get you back the profit. If I spent my time feeling bad, or if I felt bad and let go the steering wheel, which is what a lot of people, them just stop looking. Boy, I see the losses, I'm just stop watching portfolio after that. Me check it later. That don't help. That's like letting go the steering wheel and you think you're going to crash. Me, I'm out. I know it means that at least for the second one, when I went back in hoping for a bounce and I realized it wasn't happening and I jumped out, immediately I have to find something to make back that money because I don't make losses. So I have to find something to make that back up, right? And it worked out nice. It worked out nice for the year. I wish I had put it all in Fesco. I didn't do that. But CPJ still gave me wonderful growth coming from November to the first quarter last year, of this year.
Yeah, so that's one of the things that like I really learned through that experience, because like I said, I just got out of Carib Cement today, you know what I mean? And it's like, you know, the demotivation that caused me, I missed out on so many moves that I was aware of, and I was just kind of just like, I can't bother read the Edifocal prospectus, or I can't bother buy CPJ even though my sister the place are open. You know what I mean? Like I was literally like ignoring the money that was like flying all around me. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You
know, my God, man. If you had gotten out of Carib Cement 3 weeks ago, you could have gone into all iCreate, which I know you have spoken to me about. You've asked me about iCreate privately, if I remember correctly.
Bro, the first time I looked at iCreate and was almost putting in a buy order, iCreate was at 55 cents.
Oh my god. Oh my god. I mean, I don't mind missing something. I don't have a lot of money in iCreate directly, but I don't also have money in Carib Cement burning you. So what you gonna make it up in? What you plan? If you want to
So
share that.
so right now, yes, I just say yes. I have the money. I have the money sitting down in J Trader now. So really and truly, I'm still actually in the process of concentrating my portfolio from 7 to 4. So I'm gonna take this Carib Cement and I'm gonna go into SVL. Actually, I still feel like they have a lot more to go, especially based on the goal that I have. I'm trying to do 100% in 12 months.
All right, all right. With how many stocks?
No, with no with no with the money with the Carib Cement money.
Oh, just with that specific amount of money.
Yeah.
So you're expecting that SVL is gonna give you 100% in 12 months?
Yes. Until unless unless I find a faster vehicle.
SVL is actually a recent one for me but maybe somebody else talking. I talk about that a little later, but I don't think that's a bad vehicle. I think that's an amazing vehicle. Personally, I'm biased towards it now because I have the open and say I do have money in there, and I don't feel like I have enough money in there. Let me wrap up that Carib Cement point. There's one thing I wanted to show the people I thought was interesting. At the end of September last year, like I said, Mayberry, largest Jamaican shareholder at that point. At the end of March of this year, Mayberry dropped to number 6, right? 8 million units versus 13 million units. That's a big drop. That's speaking with your wallet. And 8 million units is still enough to really manage, influence the price. I like that. I really like that point there with the volume movement. Anyway, on your SVL point, you say you're expecting 100% in a year.
Right.
You in already? Or are you considering going in?
I'm going in on Monday.
Okay. Well,
No, like for sure going in on Monday. If you link me Monday, 1 o'clock, and I'm not in, then we'll have a problem. I wanted to
well,
think of something clever to say, but I didn't think of one.
yeah, but you're good. You've got the benefit of an early rise a few days ago, and it's back down to 20 odd now. Big volumes moving same way, and you can get in cheap. Big up my money JA for allowing us to be able to analyze this stuff. Like if you want to buy in Monday, if you have anything less than $2.6 million, you'll be able to get in. You can get a nice amount of units too. Anything less than that, you can get 89,921. You can even get more than that, but you'll hit the breaker, you'll trip the breaker. But yeah,
it's less than that. But
well, give it.
yeah,
In time, it won't be. But yeah, it's
facts.
yeah,
Facts.
I think it's primed for growth, brother. I think the impact of the tightening up of that company. The funny thing is, Scratchers is extremely exciting to me in terms of its impact on it. If you actually dig into the numbers, I'm looking at maybe anywhere from 1 to 1.5 billion impact. I think to the profit, to the revenue line, or is it 2 billion or what? I think about 1.5 billion maybe upward impact from Scratchers. That's my estimation. And of course, you see the profit pretty much double on the quarter, and that's for 1 month of Scratchers, not one quarter.
Not even a full month.
Part of a month, exactly. Part of March.
Like a 3 weeks.
All right.
And then
Here's
and you see how they're doing these things. You notice that the news stories that come out about them, like you have to see them, right? You have to see the news story. Oh yeah, man, some guy get a 5 million off of a $200 Scratchers. Or, bro, I be driving on the road and I see people have them like blowing in the breeze. Like that's how much them buy. Like it's a long train of them are blowing at the breeze and them are walk down the road and a scratch.
Boy, I don't see it on news. I see the impact on social media. I keep saying it. I've not seen anybody who said that they bought one Scratchers ticket. Literally, I've never seen somebody talk about buying Scratchers ticket and say I bought one.
Right, and then it's like if you do the maths on how much Scratchers they have to sell to make back the grand prize on it, it's really not that much.
I don't care about that. I care about the amount of money that the company is appearing to make on in terms of the margin on scratchers, even though the payouts are huge. The SVL has increased a lot of its payouts.
That's what I'm saying. I'm saying like it's not like they don't have to sell a lot to even cover the grand prize if somebody wins. So like the profitability must be insane.
Oh yeah. But and again, one part of 1 month. I will say in the financials, I think they said 1 full month. But from what I remember when it was actually launched, it was launched within March. And as I say, I don't know nobody, even people I don't know, but I've never seen somebody say they bought one ticket. Everybody buy pack, then buy the whole bunch. People go to shop and then buy it. Them take the entire thing out. And then I see them on TikTok and in them having like scratchers parties. I hear people at work having them office having scratchers
party.
Brother. And again, here's the funny thing. Scratchers is not the most exciting thing in my view that I'm waiting for from SVL. So I'm
very interested to see how they expand the charge up platform.
That's not it either. But the people that did the last week.
Might not be, but I'm saying that's something that I'm interested in. Regarding them,
the charge up platform seems to be interesting. The small loans, Michaela Finance seems to also be pretty good rolling out the fintech that they are. But I've said it many times on this that I see. I've said it for years now, literally years now. I've been saying it that I see SVL as infrastructure, really. And so stuff like the expansion of the scratchers, I think, is great for infrastructure. I don't want to go into too much. The people who were at the last grow, they picked SVL and we went into it together when we were learning how, they use it as the example thing to learn what they were doing at grow. And I touched some of the points there and we saw some of the things that, we don't know, but it's the dots, right? So you have to connect the dots. And let's just say, so that's one of my down stories. So I bought a lot of SVL at 30 odd. It's now down, as you can see, to 27. I hate it. I'm always angry when something is down, but that don't matter because my goal time isn't right now. This is actually an opportunity, as I was saying to somebody in the Grow Guide group, that when you go into the thing properly, as you know, having done Grow, the way I talk about investing and how important the goal is and the work before you, the pre-work before you get into an investment, that you should almost never be surprised in an investment, right? And if you are surprised, you should have a plan. You should have a plan around, you should actually have a plan around what could happen, good, bad, or ugly, right? So for SVL, for me though, this is not a bad thing. It becomes an opportunity. It really is a blessing that I wasn't expecting. Because when I was buying it at 30 odd, I didn't expect that a couple of days later I'd be able to buy more at 27. So I'm happy.
It went on sale.
There we go. And if it continues to be on sale like it might be, I expect more. I'll tell you, here's a little bit of a prediction from me. If JPS IPOs in a couple of weeks or months, I suspect a lot of people that might be in SVL might jump out. So the price might even go low because people might rush to go to JPS. I hope they do. Because
you'll be right there to take it from them.
Of course, I don't own enough. I have a brethren who own a lot. I have a brethren who owns a whole lot.
I felt that way about Lumber the other day when they sold it down to 305. I was like, wow, yeah man, I'll take some more at 310, no problem.
You still believing in Lumber, eh?
Still believing in Lumber, but I believe in them because of what I see them doing. I still believe in them because what I think they might do, and I still believe in them just because like my average price is so low.
Oh yeah, well, I understand that as somebody who's the same way. It was spoiled for choice there, and
but you said something earlier though that kind of struck me in term when you were talking about wondering if Carib Cement is going to do some kind of corporate move to raise money or do something like that, and that waiting for that reason is greedy.
No, it's not that waiting for that reason is greedy. It's that I let that reason overpower all the signs that were clear to me that they're not paying the dividend.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, well,
no, hold on. Don't get me wrong, It
just reminds me of the scenario I'm in right now with Jam Tea. I'm not losing on them, but they've definitely been kind of declining, and
it depends on what you're looking for Jamty, but I want you to not get this wrong. I was not saying that waiting for that reason at the time was wrong, and I'm also not saying that they might not pay a dividend. I mean, the way they've spoken, they might very well pay a single dividend at the end of this year or early next year. But at this point, I really don't care.
No, that's not what I got from it. I was just saying it reminded me of the scenario that I have Jamty, right now, where it's like I'm holding them because I'm waiting to see what the benefit is for Jamty shareholders when they spin off the manufacturing. But it's like that, we're not hearing the news from them. Insiders been set, directors been selling, connected parties been selling, and I'm kind of here like, yeah, I'm trying to concentrate my portfolio though, but I don't want them to announce the thing and they're doing possibly what Blue Power did with Lumber, where it's like, hey, for every one Blue Power share you get a free Lumber share. I would hate for them to do something like that and I sell them, but it's the thing kind of just
kind of
slow down
stagnant
upon them right now.
Yeah, I got annoyed with them a couple months back and sold a lot of it, but I still have a little stake, and I know that I'm going back in. But you should have been in the girl subscribers group. And I wish the girl subscribers would ask me, or we would talk about things like this, cause I think sometimes all them wait for somebody else to ask things like this. And Phil, Mr. Jamty was I have some hopes around this, but I don't want to say too much. It and SVL, I don't necessarily want to say too much around. I think maybe Monday or so, maybe over the weekend, I'll write a SVL thread. I haven't written a thread in a long time, so maybe I'll connect some dots for SVL. But for Jamty,
I think I might join the Grow subscribers group maybe later this year. Cause if it's one thing, bro, like, and I mean, you see me in the other every Mickle chat where it's like, I'm not afraid to sound stupid, because the more stupid I sound is like the stronger the correction is gonna be, and then the faster I learn.
Yeah, but you're also not going to sound stupid. Don't worry about that, brother. Don't worry about that. Yeah. No, I get what you're saying though, but yeah,
put myself out there to be criticized, cause like it's more than a few times, like I will say something, or like I'll be typing out paragraphs, and then you'll just come in and be like, yo, there's a lot of feelings in this, and then I'll.
Yeah, because a lot of people buy against their feelings, and it's not that you shouldn't feel the feelings, is that you should understand that this is a feeling, but let me shore it up with some facts, right? Yeah, I feel like there's a bridge, I won't call him name, but him feel like Dolphin Cove was doing bad because him see them on good stars us, and him feel like the expenses must have been spiked again because they've had to take on more staff. All right, so shore it up with something. And shore it up with something more than what everybody in the other groups are talking about. And if nobody in the other groups are talking about it, that's a good thing, because when they come around to looking at it is when you'll be able to sell a bit for higher. Anyway, you're always welcome. I'm glad for the conversation all the time, and I'm glad that you're not finally out of Carib Cement. How you feel if them declare a dividend in a couple of months?
I don't feel no way, because I'm not a dividend investor.
Oh, word. But
there might be a huge. Announcing the dividend can also trigger other people to run in and drive up the price. But like, I'm not go feel no way. Like, it took me this long to just say, yo, Ray, and I know that there's money to be made elsewhere. There's a lot of money to be made elsewhere. There's so many stocks flying every single day. It seemed like,
All right. Yeah, there's options out there. Just don't get too scattered. Remember, the concentration is the friend of profit. Diversification is the enemy of profit.
I said, I'm moving down from like 7 or 8 to 4. So okay. It's Lumber, GK, and then soon to be SVL and EduFocal.
That's not a bad set. But then I can tell you whether or not that's perfect. But I like that set. That's not a bad set of stocks at all.
Mm-hmm.
All right, big up, bro.
Yeah, man. Thank you.
Thank you very much for jumping on and for waiting for a while. And for the people who send the speaking request and I didn't approve it, I'm so sorry. Paying attention to all the screens have me a little distracted. So I've just approved 2 more, and we have Croft BSC himself, who has been waiting forever unless him drop asleep. Sir Rob, Croft BSC, what's up? Sound like him definitely drop asleep. Or what's up?
I never remember I made the request for him.
I'm so sorry.
No, man, good one. It's funny. Yeah, bring up Jamaica teas, because that's actually what I wanted to talk about. Haven't really heard anybody talk about Jamaica teas in a long time. You see me? Kind of fallen out of favor. Yeah, but One of them says
exciting
summer.
like one time. That's why.
What is it?
Exciting like one time, and then people like Danhai and me, we're not really interested in bringing it into the forefront right now, right? Yeah, because you soon see other people talking about it.
I know the style of them. Wolf in
Yeah.
sheep's clothing kind of style.
I don't know about the wolf in sheep's clothing, but it don't serve any of us to go talk about it and make the price go spike, and then we can't buy in heavily, right?
Yeah.
Plus the directors, to be open, the directors. This is why I'll start off and tell you why I jumped out. The directors sell like wow, brother.
Yo, the man them every week. Yo, director sold 600,000 shares. Director sold this. Director sold. If you don't, if you're not, if you're okay with holding it for, whatever long term means for you, yeah, that's fine. But I feel like people are more looking at like the man say it. Him say, what, Q2? End of Q2? Or did he say Q1 at one point? I don't remember.
He said Q1, then him say Q2, then him say summer.
Then him say summer.
I'm a deal with the thing
Summer
like
is
Rihanna
a long
album.
time. Isn't it?
Yeah.
But anyway, yeah. But I don't think. I don't think I'm gonna switch it up still, because the way how I see it is that a lot of the guys, John and them other man, the two Johns, they have a significant shareholding in the company, and these guys, I've noticed, them and man like Chris Berry are not generally in the habit of making certain moves, unless they can also benefit significantly. They care about
their share price.
They care about they care about their share price, because they tend to be heavily invested in the companies that they take significant stakes in. So SVL, Gary Peart and Chris Berry. You see him talking about it.
Yeah, yo, that's a big deal. I never realized that. Do you know? Apparently, he's the first CEO of a listed company to take his salary as shares in Jamaica.
Yeah, and that is quite interesting to me. To be honest, not gonna lie, that alone for me, that's a buy signal for SVL.
Oh yeah,
but not just because it's a CEO doing it, but specifically because it's Gary Peart.
Yeah.
And specifically because Chris Berry is also kind of making a big deal out of it. Recently he seems to be in the habit of kind of talking about things that he wants to do well on the stock market. I don't mean well in real life. I mean, like, the companies will do well in real life, but we know that real life and the share price are not necessarily always directly linked.
Correct.
They always, right? So I think Chris Berry trying to, let me not.
No, go through. Test your money strength. You just
it's. I enjoy his Twitter account. That's what I say.
Oh yeah, no, undoubtedly. I say it openly. The way people talk to me about my tweets is the way I pay attention to his tweets. I read in the girl subscriber group say him have the most powerful question mark on Twitter.
Yeah, that's the question, man. Because I wasn't really paying attention to notices or anything at the time. When I saw him ask the question, he was just like, what would you say if you heard that the CEO or chairman, whatever him did ask, was taking, pay, stock in lieu of pay, or like, what would you think?
Yeah.
It was just kind of very cheeky,
Entertaining.
I find it very interesting. The tweets from him that people choose to pay attention to. Very, very interesting, because they're not paying attention to the money ones, the ones that you make them the change. But
there's this guy on Twitter. I don't know if you've ever seen his tweets. CRLB, right? Very entertaining gentleman. Very entertaining gentleman, right? I said something to him one time. Say one of the reasons why I like his tweets and I like the fact how he talks about investing is the fact that him don't act like say making money is a sad or a serious thing. So a lot of people, them talking about the stock market and them talking to you the same way your doctor explaining to you that no man, the scans aren't looking good and we might have to go operate. Bro, we're making money. It's the dream and you're doing it legitimately. Why should you sound sad? It should be a fun thing, show some personality. Berry's account.
No, I mean, there are people that, boy, I know that you're familiar with the phrase "fuck you money," isn't it? So him not give. He doesn't give that. Isn't him not care.
What
Him a
about to
say what him
cancel
want
him?
to say.
Let them call him one of the four horsemen of Twitter, brother, of the apocalypse. That was funny to me. That was very, very funny to me. It's a very entertaining account.
Him actually kind of. I don't know. A lot of people probably who are in here, them probably don't remember this time, but probably let me say. I feel like he tweets the way similarly to how you used to tweet 5-6 years ago.
Yeah, but that's a different time. That's a different. I don't
Yeah,
have his
yeah,
money.
man. I know. The era is over. It's over. You see me?
Yeah, yeah. Hey, listen, if I make the billion, I will bring it back.
Give you 10 years.
Yeah, 10. No, bro.
Less?
35, bro. Let's not come. Anyway.
Anyway,
I want to enjoy it while I'm young too. Why not? You look at Swaby's probably gonna hit the billion soon, and he's younger than me. So I must be the weird guy on the yacht, the poor one. Anyway.
But yeah, I don't know. I mean, I've been looking at the share price of Jamaica Tea's trend down and the loss of interest, and well, to me, it just seems like an opportunity to enter. I think that the same factors that people were looking at, between November and December, January, that started to cause the share price to spike at that time. I don't think that it's disappeared. I mean, it's been pushed back a little bit. There's probably a little bit of vagueness surrounding. But as I said, I don't think that these guys are going to, spin off the company and not. The fact that they're thinking along those lines, I don't even think they would have publicly said it if they weren't going to do it. You know what I mean?
Pretty much.
I think,
it's pretty much.
Them still have to do it. It's just, whether or not you can wait. Maybe somebody directed them and sell them shares. Maybe I'll buy a car and I'll buy a house. Or you never know.
I really don't want to talk about Jam Tina, brother.
Right.
I really don't want to talk about Jam Tea because I know if I lay out certain sensible points, I'm gonna feel pissed if I see the share price start move up next week, right?
I'm not trying to force you.
Here's what I will say.
I've been thinking about it. It's one I personally hold a lot of shares, right? So it's hard for me not to think about it all the time. And I've spoken on BrickTalk before, but maybe we can talk about. Maybe you probably don't want to talk about that other company, but they've been doing well. John Jackson, other love child.
Which one is that? QWI?
The one where himself cars.
JetCon, play of the quarter. I bought JetCon as a joke, not as a joke, but I play around amount to stay fresh. A couple weeks ago, and I want to say I bought JetCon at I don't want to show my business on it. It's a small amount, but nonetheless, it's not
that heavily traded, so
Yeah, well, you know what? The directors started buying up shares after I bought it, and again, it's not a heavily traded, and there are not that many shares out there. So, I bought when it was in the 80 odd cents region, and now at $1.68. I mean, it has fallen to me being over 100% profit in a matter of weeks.
I'm actually up right now. I think it's like 86 or 87% within the month, right? And I mean, it's funny because we had a conversation about JetCon like shortly before that. I don't know if you remember. And somebody, a close friend of mine, was like, messaging me privately. He's just like, dog, you need to be quiet. Like you're, isn't it just
go easy, brother.
Yeah. Just go easy. Yeah. So, but I mean, bring up JetCon to say that a lot of times people, because earlier they were talking about, you call shape magic or you call shape magic. People talking about like technicals and whatever. And sometimes, like investing is as simple as reading what the CEO said the last time and basically referencing it and then putting 2 and 2 together to be like, oh, this is where they are, and just knowing where they are before they actually say where they are. Because today the man's supposed to drop this up.
Yeah, the reports are very overdue. I agree with you. Let's say that the reports are very overdue. Let me put it this way: something I've been saying at the recent growers, and it's true, and it's a half stolen thing that I saw online, and it's so true. You get ahead of maybe 90% of the other investors in the market, including the experts, especially the experts. If you simply read the financials, it is one of the greatest. It is scary how much advantage you get from just reading the financials. Not the
It
great.
was, I mean, when we were discussing it, because it's not like we were discussing anything deep. Is we're just looking historically. Oh, this is what used to happen. This is what is happening now because them now make no money now because XYZ, and no, you didn't even have to. You didn't have to look at any signals really. The man say XYZ, so hence we're now here, right? And sometimes I know you've said this a lot in the past. Sometimes it just feels. Sometimes it seems so simple that you feel like, yo, I'm definitely wrong because, I must be stupid because there's no way that
It's this simple. Everybody
it's
must be
this
seeing
simple.
this.
Yeah,
No,
everybody.
let
There
me.
must be something more to it than 1 + 1 = 2, or just plugging in, finding out what X is or whatever in a very simple equation to say, oh, okay, I can approximate it. The earnings, or I can approximate where the share price would go. Based on how.
Look, I don't mind talking about this actually. So this is the date when I bought. I didn't buy it at 81 cents. I got it at 84 cents. It's at $1.68 now. 84 cents after fees. That's a clean 200% today. 100% profit.
Yeah.
Right? It has fallen to 100% profit. Now watch this. Here, when I say, let me show you the gel between your point and my point. When I say you get ahead of 90% of the investors if all you do is read the financials, and then you get ahead of another 9%, so 99% if you understand them. All you have to can do is read it. And not even, for JetCon, it's not even the hard part of the financials.
Yo.
Outlook, JetCon continues to enjoy that. Today,
this is a paragraph where man just tell you what going.
Today, the fourth quarter sales are stronger still, with units sold in November at our regular pre-pandemic levels and already exceeding sales for the third quarter. This sentence was written at least before, I think it was written in December, maybe the first or second week in December. And it was released to the public when? I won't get the date right. It was released to the public in December. From December, them said this,
Yeah, but nobody never care.
No, I say it all the time. I think I'm damn good at the market, but I don't get to show the things that I'm good at because the things that put me ahead a lot of times aren't like really fancy things. All I did was read it. Just read that. Read what them tell you.
Things,
they tell you what the fourth quarter look like already, and the fourth quarter don't come out yet, and then them delay them audited.
You don't need to wait for it. You can just say, oh, the man is not. I mean, companies lie or whatever, but I mean, man, man is being truthful. There's a turnaround in the company. There's a turnaround in the company. You get me? You can't just say that and then, boy, next month it's a lie, blatant.
I said that in December, and then the second week of April, a director bought a little over a million shares.
Yeah, I saw that too. And also, some of the directors in this company are, I mean, I look at these things as well, who they're related to or who they are and what the kind of investor that this person may be, based on who it might be. You get what I mean? Yeah, so that was another strong buy signal for me. I mean, I was already done buying or whatever, but
yeah, it's a good little safety hold for me, and I don't think it coming. I think there's gonna be some news that will be exciting. I don't want to go too deep into it, but also the cost for used cars now are a lot more than it was a year or two ago, and a lot of cars that JetCon bought then, they bought it at a lot cheaper.
So if they weren't selling those cars,
which they weren't because of the pandemic,
right? They're selling now. They must have a better margin.
That's what the experts will tell you, that the margin per the unit margins must be a lot better.
Higher.
Yeah. It would appear that way. I don't know for sure, because guess what? The full year report will come out and the profit is down and we're wrong, right?
Yeah.
But
I was actually tempted to sell before it come out. To be honest, I was tempted to kind of cut and run. But I mean, I might not have the same perspective that you have on whatever it is. Cause a lot of times I feel like, I look at companies and I see very superficial things that you can make money off of. But then, you and that other guy, the yacht man,
gentleman.
always come with something like, I don't want to talk about that yet. We have, more to come. More to come.
Yeah. Well, we say we actually mean it, but it's true, because we have to eat off of this, and it'd be very annoying. I'd be annoyed if I had to buy into JetCon here. Funny enough, I bought the JetCon then because I said, yo, don't make a repeat of FESCO happen to you. Don't make a repeat of FESCO happen to you, where you see it, you know it, you call it, you leave it, and then it fly go $1.20, and you have to buy it then. So said, so done.
Yeah, I wondered if it was the conversation. I did wonder.
When our conversation on BrickTalk,
yeah, I wonder if that had any.
It may very well have. I might have bought it maybe the next day. maybe the next day. It may very well have been our conversation that
I thought about it for a couple of now. I was just like,
it was, because I bought it March 14th and BrickTalk was the 11th. Yeah. So thank you, sir, for reminding me. That's exactly what I thought. I thought, yo, I am not going to allow another FESCO where me go yap about the thing online and then see it fly, and everybody eat, and me the woman go, oh God, I should have. Yeah. But who knows? Big up, sir, and thank you for your patience. I'm gonna run through the rest of the callers very quickly.
no problem.
Thank you very much. I can't stay up late because I do have advanced girl tomorrow, and I have to watch the sleeping on. So big up.
Wait, that lock off? The link for that lock off already?
No, it's open still. Right. So if you move fast, it's there. It's tomorrow. It's 2 p.m. till evening, till the people am done.
Good.
All right, a little bit. I think the next patient enough person was Craig Sims, Master Rookie. Sorry, what's up? Craig, are you talking? Craig, look like you might knock out after all this time. Damn, if you jump off and jump back on, maybe I'll be able to hear you. In the meantime, I'm gonna ask Harishate.
Night, Randy. Night. What's up,
Evening.
guys? Big up, BrickTalk. I'm good. I'm actually pretty good. I love the title of this portfolio. I've always wanted to talk on BrickTalk. I guess I wanted to just share some kind of experiences that I've had in the past, especially portfolios. Because I saw this guy, I don't know if you made it off of this guy tweeting about how much he lost and so on, but losses do resonate heavily with me. And a lot of people do say, they always talk about the emotions and say, take the emotions out the game and so on. But to me, the emotions kind of build character, especially as an investor. They really do build character. It humbles you. It teaches you lessons, and the lessons stick to me more than the gains, right? Mm-hmm. So I started investing when I was a student I was in final year med, and it was like 2019 I started, and so on, and I was making significant gains by Wigton, right, up almost 100% sold, but Lab, right, mm-hmm. up like 200.
Mm-hmm. I don't know why I'm not hearing you. Hold on 1 second. I don't know if I'm not hearing you or everybody not hearing me. Damn, I think everybody not hearing me. All right, the people on YouTube are hearing me, and you also would not be hearing the space. So If you can hold on 1 second, people on YouTube, we will be right back on in one moment.
At the time, they didn't say what kind of raise, and I bought them at, I think I bought them at around $51 or so on at the time. And then they came out with this thing called an APO. And boy, was that loss heavy, because I went heavy into JMMB at the time. Because in my head, I thought they were going to do right issues. And that was the only kind of raise I knew at the time. So I was just like, yo, let me just take a big chunk of this. And this was a heavy loss. I mean, I remember going to school and my belly was hurting at the loss. I'm here checking my phone, checking my... So this was after the API, and they traded up to like close to $18. I bought them 17 high, 18. And then great results, right? And they fell, and I was just like, yo, is this real right now? Like, what's going on? I had to start questioning, yo, am I doing something wrong? And eventually I found a lesson, but the thing is, my brethren told me, and he's always trying to tell me, yo, just pre the next opportunity, right? Yes, you've made losses here and so on, but that don't mean you can't just jump out and jump into the next opportunity. So that to me is the driving factor whenever I hardly make losses now, which is great, right? Big up you, big up Grow, big up Danhai, of course.
Oh,
right?
So I just realized I know who you are. Sorry, all right.
Just that insatiable hunger for what's driving factor whenever I hardly make losses now, which is great, right? Big up you, big up Grow, big up Danhai, of course, right? But always just that insatiable hunger for what's the next opportunity. Because as somebody was saying, stocks fly all the time, right? Like something else is gonna go up sooner or later. And I feel like it's always a good reset, right? Yes, I allow myself to feel the emotions. Like I get like 5-10 minutes of like it hurts. It's like it's pure agony. I don't know if it's anybody else, but for me, because it's my money, like I work hard for this, right? And I did the research and I put it into I just breathe. I have
pause 1 sec for me.
5 short breaths. I'm just like, what's the next play?
Hold on.
Right?
I don't think you can hear me.
I feel like that was an important lesson that my friend taught me.
Yeah, hold on. Pause 1 sec. Can you hear me now?
If I can hear you?
Yes.
Yes, I can hear you.
Yeah, apologies for that. So on my side, the sound kind of went crazy, which meant for a lot of the people on YouTube, the sound went crazy. I heard what you were saying, and I heard a lot of it, but it kept jumping in and out. I wait just for time's sake. I'll make you repeat it, but I think tell me if I hit the main points here, because a lot of them are good. One, making losses affects you, so you're not superhuman. The emotions of it you do feel the emotions.
Definitely.
Yeah, you said that you have a friend who kind of just guided you with feel it, but there's always something else coming.
Yeah, always. Yeah, there's always something else you have to look towards.
Is when you were saying that I realized that I know who you are.
Oh.
Yeah. So you're saying that
one of your growers, I think was that early grower? I guess early 2019 I came to your grower.
Yeah, pre-pandemic.
Pre-pandemic when you used to actually serve food at the growers and thing.
Yeah, I miss that, boy. I miss doing them in person, but
man, it was really good in person. Like, I don't know, it's a different connection because I've made my parents the grower online, so I kind of sat in with them and watched them. It's like it's a different experience. It's still great, and you've changed it significantly. Like it's definitely evolved. Even the whole move up aspect, you didn't have. I don't think you had an acronym for it called move up, but now.
Probably not,
now it's evolved, and I do like it. I really appreciate it.
Yeah,
my parents loved it, so big up for that.
I'm glad to hear that. And just to cap everybody else, so you're saying, just to add to what you were saying on my side. So I don't want people to think, I'm not one of them. Yo, I'm so great at it. Kill the emotions. I'm not RoboCop. The losses hurt me too, brother. It hurt me. In fact, in many ways, I think I do the same thing that you do, which is that I feel it. It hurt. I want it to hurt. It should hurt me so that I don't do it. So that I think about what did I do wrong so I don't repeat those mistakes. And the losses matter to me even when I'm not happy about it, or even when it's not like a fatal or a near fatal mistake. It still hurt. The SVL, the down that I'm down now on SVL is a few 100,000. It hurt me a fret. Even though I'm not going to die from it, but it's hot. And then my mother
Yeah.
texts me and she wants something and it costs couple 100,000. So I say, so you could have the. It hurt me, but that's good because you know what it makes me do? It makes me focus and it make me look on the vehicle. I mean, I'm go, okay. Are you sure about being in this vehicle? Yeah. Are you okay taking this, or should you come out? Right? It make me. A lot of people, what they do is they feel lost and then they go. They lie. That's why I said they lie to themselves. I say, yo, it's for the long term. When they know it wasn't.
Every time I get that so often, like they buy a company and they're like, eventually you'll do well, like, and the next year I see it doing, or in the following year, I'm just like, yeah, but, and there's a thing people say like, oh, if you don't sell, you don't make a loss.
You don't
I'm just like,
realize the loss. Yeah.
yeah, you don't realize the loss, but the price
Rubbish.
gone down, right?
Rubbish.
Like,
Yeah. You realize it. It is
Exactly.
very clearly real. I realize it. You realize it. It's a loss. I realize it. I realize I'm in a lost position. Yeah, but as per finance, even under finance rules now, on the IFRS 9 and them, you don't have to realize a loss from it's lower than the market value. Look on QWI. QWI don't have to realize a loss for it to be a loss. As long as the share price or the NAV with all the combined share prices is lower at the end of the quarter than it was at the start of the quarter, them have to book it as a loss.
They have
To
to,
realize,
exactly.
yeah, and I know it. I realize a loss. I make it hurt me, but I don't make the feeling of the pain stop me. I concentrate on what did I do wrong and what is the thing that I need to fix to make sure that don't happen again.
And sometimes you don't even do anything wrong because that's just investing. Like, there's risk associated with it. Like, even the Carib Cement point that you were making, right? It's a great company, right? There's nothing you did wrong. That was the vehicle you picked, that it was going for your goal and thing. And it just, like, for reasons outside of your control. All right, look at COVID, right? COVID for me, I was still a student when COVID hit, and boy, did that loss hurt. Man, in fact, I didn't even look at stocks for a couple of weeks. Like, it was like 2 or 3. I was big on stocks when I just started, and I think it was 2 or 3 weeks. I was sick to my stomach, right? I was just like, yo, my portfolio is down so much. I don't have a job, right? Luckily, I never have like any serious. I didn't have like loans or anything, so it was okay. But I was just like, yo, this is. To me, at the time, it was really big money. I'm just like, yo, this is a lot. Like, I can't tell my parents how much I've lost because they'll be like, yo, what?
Lego this stocks thing.
Right? Lego this stocks thing. Like, all right, this is too much risk. It's way too risky for you. All right? But after a while, even the whole, even throughout the pandemic, I remember one thing you said. You were on earnings season and you were talking about, you lost a lot of money and so on.
I mean, I'll say it just so people know them. Say I never talk about losses, and then I reference it. Like, you think you were sick between the start of March 2020 and the end of March? I lost $10 million. Brother,
I wouldn't be able to sleep, Bridget. What?
Yeah. Well, you know how I was able to sleep? I didn't realize.
Oh, okay.
I didn't realize. You see, the second I realized, no comfort, because then that also, when it hit me, and the emotion of it hit me, and then also the fact that you didn't realize you're not even paying attention, is like you get told to guard some cars and some get stolen out. And not only is it the expensive cars that got stolen out, but you also didn't realize that they were stolen. It was not good, but but what could I do? Could I let go of it and go, oh God, this stock thing don't make sense, let me stop? You have to make it back. You have to find it back.
And you said that on your earnings season, and I think that's also what gave me the confidence to say, all right, let's look to the market again. Let's see what I could possibly do. And I think this is the point where I just started to learn how to short-term trade, right? I would see certain gaps in certain stock prices. I remember I was flipping all like Cygnus. There was like a big gap in Cygnus because I owned a lot of Cygnus at the time, right? I owned it at like $20, hit like $24, $25 right before the pandemic hit, and then the pandemic dropped it to like 17, right? And so on. And but
14,
there was like
15 actually,
in like the buy and sell queue, and I was just like, okay, I can put in an order at the top of the buy queue, and I would sell it like same day, and I would make like 3 weeks worth of lunch money or a month worth of lunch money. I'm just like, yo, I could keep doing this, And I remember studying for MBBS, and I just kept doing that. There are a lot of stocks. I remember GNAC. I remember Pulse. There was a big Pulse rise. I remember I bought Pulse at like $2 flat, right? And then it started going up steadily again from $2, until this big spike at $4. I was just like, this can still be done. Like money can still be made. Yeah, the whole market's down, but not every stock is down. You get me? There's still opportunity.
Yeah, like Danhai say, we don't buy the market, we buy individual stocks. And you mentioned two great ones. A lot of my 2020 recovery came from Pulse. When I realized it, Pulse was responsible for a lot of my recovery. Jam T was responsible for a lot of my recovery.
Oh, same. Jam T.
Yeah.
In fact, I bought Jam T. So the stock split happened, right? And I bought Jam T at. I figured, I thought people would sell, right? Because automatically at the time I was just like, oh, a lot more people know, have a lot more shares and so on, right? No big news is going on right now, so people might just start selling. And that's exactly what happened. And it dipped even below $2. I remember buying some for me and my mom at $1.80, $1.85, right? And I remember selling at, I sold some at $3.50. I sold some at $4.50 too. And right now I'm still in Jam. I've jumped back and I've increased my holdings in Jam T right now, because I know you don't want to talk about Jam T. I don't necessarily want to talk about Jam T either, because there's.
And you understand. Then you understand.
There's signs that are pointed to certain things, and I just don't want to talk about it right now.
Yeah, and don't listen to Cruft BSC. Him don't want to talk about it now either. Yeah,
he definitely don't want to talk about it. I feel like he doesn't have enough holdings either.
Yeah,
he doesn't have enough shares. That's fine, right? But yeah, like there. And even Boomjar was saying it too. Like he was holding carb cement for so long and thing. And it also goes, like, even when you make a loss, sometimes you feel tempted to sit down in the loss, because it's just the reality.
It's demoralizing, yeah.
Pardon me?
It's demoralizing.
It is.
It really is, yeah.
Right? And so it's just like, but opportunity cost is such a heavy thing. Like in that time period that you've made the loss, you could sell out, make back the money, make back even more, brought and thing, and then you can jump back in, right? If you really believe in the company, if you really believe in the goal, if you really believe in the company, it's like jump back in, right? There's no as you say, you're a wagonist to these stocks, and I'm fully a wagonist to these stocks, right? If it's not making me money, why am I sitting down in this stock? And a lot of people probably are listening and be like, yo, you know, I have a company like that in my portfolio, and I'm just like, always just reassess, guys. Like,
yeah.
Is this gonna go up in the near future, right? Or to whenever you want your money, right? That's something I have to do. I have to be like, all right, the stock, I bought this stock, it's gone down. Has it gone down significantly or not? Am I gonna buy more or am I gonna sell out? Those are questions you always have to be asking yourself, right? So those are questions I always ask. I'm like, is this an opportunity? Am I gonna buy more? Oh, it's dropped significantly. Right? You kind of have to just get the emotions under control. Yes, feel them. I still feel them. I think everyone. If you don't feel them, something's wrong with you.
Exactly.
Right?
That's you're being real. You're being real, because that's like my problem with when people say, "Yo, don't feel emotions." I'm not going to tell people not to feel the emotions, because you're a human being. I make it drive me. Yeah, man. I make it drive me, man. I get pissed. I get pissed.
Yeah, I get so pissed.
And that getting pissed.
I even made it translate into my work day, so like I was just pissed the entire day. Right? I don't like when that happens.
But well, you probably shouldn't. You're a doctor, but for me, But for me, like I use the anger to drive certain decisions that I might be iffy about. I was angry about Jam T not moving. I got so angry, and I remembered all the times when Jam T would move. I'm talking about 2021, you know, not like 2020. This is long after the recovery and everything. Last year, 2021, where the price was just stagnating and the directors were just selling heavily, and I got so pissed, and I said, you know what? And I had I think a sizable enough position in there for me, at least. The money mattered to me, and that anger allowed me to come out, to come out heavily, to move most of my money out of it when I was still in profit. And it's a heavy enough thing, and you're thinking to yourself, I mean, suppose I jump out at the 4 odd and what I'm expecting happens, and it fly go 8. I have nobody to blame but myself. But then I also thought, how long have you been waiting for that? And the directors keep
Exactly.
selling, and then I had to come back to the same principles that you've done, gross. I talk about some very clear, regular principles, like some simple regular principles, like well, everybody know this one: demand and supply. If the directors are selling these millions of units and a lot of them are hitting the market, hitting regular investors, that's increasing the supply.
And it's
Unless
on the
they
open market, a lot of them are selling too.
exactly. So I did a level of I did some sort of higher level analysis where I looked on the general level of liquidity and what they're impacting with, the simple version was, unless what I was expecting to happen happened, the share price would not
Price would fall.
fly. Yeah, the share price would not fly to the level that I'm hoping that it will fly, unless the directors stop this sale, and based on other factors, I expected them not to stop until a certain point. And I just say, yo, get
Back
out.
out.
Yeah, and then the last thing I did was I analysis with myself. I did analysis with my number. I said, okay, if it goes to 6, how much money? I usually talk percentages, but this is me talking personally to myself. So I go, what is a dollar figure of money that you make if it goes to $6 from where it is now? And then,
Oh yeah, I always do that. Pull up a
there we go.
calculator and just check.
Yeah,
Yeah.
man. And then I look at my own thing and I go, okay, well, here what? One, them don't look like them stopping the sale anytime soon, so I'm jumping out. And then 2, what that projected number that I had as what would happen if it went to 6, I just made that into my goal. Okay, whatever I'm going into, that I need to make at least that to feel okay in the event that I miss whatever happens. With the understanding also that when I'm going into that thing and making this gain, if what I'm expecting at the time to happen with JamT had happened, I had no issues jumping back in. But the thing that would make it worth it for me is getting out and getting into something that would give me the same level of money that staying in JamT and it going to $6 would have given me.
And in a faster time.
Exactly.
'Cause
And
to me, if the JamT run up happens before my new play happens, I'm gonna be hella pissed. Like hella
exactly.
pissed.
But then I
Yeah.
wouldn't mind jumping back in, right? Because then I start to calculate that, because the cost of that would be double fees, but the gain on that would more than offset the double fees. And then
The game, yeah, exactly. And you can check the queue too. Especially that new feature with My Money where you can see how much money it would take to make the stock price reach a certain level and so on. Like you
So
can really start to analyzing those kind of stuff.
That feature comes from me because I did this. This is this and more, and we're building it out still. But this is what I would do in Excel. So this
my
is what
friend does a lot of that. Yeah, he literally will do that in an Excel file. Like he'll copy the queue and like like have it all in an Excel file and say, all right, this is exactly how much money it would take.
Yep.
And yeah.
Person bad still. I wish you would come work for My Money J instead of doing his doctorate. Actually, I see him in here. Sir Limit Breaker, what's up?
Honestly, I honestly don't think being a doctor. I mean, he's an amazing doctor. Don't get me wrong, but definitely not his only calling. Definitely not his only calling.
Yeah, and the beauty of investing is that you can do it with something else. But just to wrap that JamT point, it actually became easy to sell once I did that calculation. And a lot of that JamT money, guess what it went into? This is mid 2021. Guess what it went into?
Mid 2021. I know you say you were buying CPJ from
there
early.
There we go. It just became. It becomes. Do I stay and hope that this thing stops jumping between 3 and 4 while the directors keep selling it, so it keeps staying at that level, or do I just strengthen my CPJ position? So all of that heavy money that came out of JamT went into CPJ. Yeah,
that's the same thing with me and Cygnus, because I was holding Cygnus for a bit. I held Cygnus and CPJ at, let's say, around October of last year, right? Maybe right before results came out. And results came out for CPJ. I had CPJ at like $6, between $6 and like $7. And Cygnus's results came out. Both of their results came out. CPJ started moving. and Cygnus didn't, and I was just like, yo, this to me this don't make any sense. But I started, post APO syndrome. I started meddling a lot of different things, and I was just like, does it really make sense to stay in Cygnus right now when you see another vehicle, and that vehicle is moving much much faster? So I cut Cygnus, and I put all of my Cygnus money. Whatever losses I made, it doesn't matter. I put all of it straight into CPJ, and I think I averaged up at around maybe $8. It was either $8 or $9, between $8 and $9 for sure, and yeah, definitely made back the money. So
On
it's just
CPJ?
on CPJ. I
Yep.
exited around. Boy, I actually beat myself up because I hit my goal, which is fine. In fact, my goal was $15, and I sold some at 16 and some at the rest at like 18 and so on. So I definitely hit my goal, but the stuff flew to like 25, and I was really pissed with myself. I was like, Jano.
I've come to terms with that still. I've come to terms with being okay with I hit my goal and it fly afterwards. Cool. So you don't feel nice, but guess what? I having felt the pain of sitting in something at a loss,
Exactly.
the pain of coming out at a profit and then further profit happen. I'm okay with that. I'm okay with that. Yeah. And it just teach me to learn to measure the further profit better.
Exactly. It teaches me to measure the further profit better. For sure.
Yeah. And I can't knock it, man, because every time you do it also, it becomes a bigger lesson that is more and more and more instructive. So if you look at the timeline, Jamty, when I'm jumping out, I'm thinking, okay, will it ever go to 6 in this time, right? This is June, July. So I'm selling in the mid 4s. CPJ, same July, I'm buying in at 5. Now that seems simple, but as you hear, my entry into CPJ is at the $2 odd. So when I'm buying in at 5, 6, this is me buying already almost 300% higher. Yeah, and you'd be like, well, that's crazy. Why would you buy 300% higher?
Think that's crazy. Exactly.
Yeah, but
your average price is so low.
Why would you be averaging up? Yeah.
And a lot of people are afraid to average up because of that, because they're like, oh, I got in so low to buy now. It's pricey. I'm just like, but if you kind of meds where you expect it to be, you're comfortable buying now. Like a lot of people, if I'll ask them what price you plan to sell the stock at, right? And they'll tell me if it was CPJ for argument's sake, and it's this exact scenario, right? And they say $10, right? And they've been buying from like $3, and now it's $6. And I'm just like, so you really wouldn't put more money in at $6, even though you're going to sell at 10? So I don't know. It is. I think it comes with experience.
That is definitely true. That is definitely true.
A lot of it comes with experience, because when I just started out, losses used to hurt me so bad. And the thing is, I didn't make a lot of losses, but the losses I did make really did resonate with me, and the emotions held me back for a bit, right? But now, if I do make a loss, I know it's not even as much longer of like a rage period. It's more just like you just feel it all at once, and you're just like, all right, what's the next thing? Because something else is always going up. So yeah.
Yeah, big up. I love that story. I see you, Bridget, join the space.
No, Preston, I hope he talks. Big up, Preston.
Yeah, I wouldn't mind him talk, but also thinking about the time.
True.
Yeah, and I just realized based on a conversation from the Grower Guide group that people can actually see who is speaking if they're on YouTube. So I'm trying something to allow you to at least know who he's talking. Who he's talking to is, I won't call him if him do I call him name. At Hashira. Say your at name.
Hashira is Hashira Thay, Thay.
Is that like that's one of those anime things?
Yeah, actually.
Okay, yeah. You guys make me realize that I'm actually old because I have no idea about any of them.
I'm pretty sure you'd enjoy them if you watch one or two, but
yeah. Danhai has told me that.
Binge watched a few stuff, so yeah.
Danhai has told me that, and big up Bam also for explaining enough for them that I realized I would enjoy it. But funny enough, I said I need like a whole long time when like I have to stay home to be able to watch one, and then the pandemic hit, and turns out that was a lie. But I know I will watch them, but I'll have to watch it where I watch all of them. I don't mind doing that. I know that Netflix is overpriced. I might very well just put some money into watching some of those. But all right, let me get a couple more people in. Thank you very much for that.
Definitely. Have a good night. Yeah, man.
Yeah,
Blessing.
man. Thank you. I'm going to. Wait, we just spoke to Master. No, Master Rookie, is your microphone working now? Craig Sims, your microphone working, but you might be asleep now. Oh no, I'm so sorry. I really don't want to skip you again if you're there, you know. So I see you've unmuted, but I'm still not hearing you. I muted you. Try to unmute yourself again and see if you're a bit better off. I'm so sorry, Craig Sims. Try again. If at any point in time you try again and jump back in, I will give you the priority so you can speak. In the meantime, I don't want to lose time because it is late. Hartis McDonald, how are you?
Hello, good night, everyone. Good night, Randy.
Night, night.
So I actually, the last time I spoke to you, you made reference of, a broker that JMMB would be a preferred entity to open a broker account. All right, so
Randy Rowe said that out of my mouth on this space for free.
Yeah, once. No, I been new to the whole stocks and stuff like that, so I was interested in investing.
Mm-hmm.
So I had asked, where do you think could be the start? And
Mm-hmm.
you were making suggestion to either GK or JMMB being a good place to start. So I was just saying that based on the requirements that they had requested, that I have gotten that and is moving forward in getting it done come Monday morning. So the question though that I want to find out is with my money JA, how do how would I, you know, be able to watch what is happening versus going through the JMMB system?
All right. I don't remember saying that. I mean, I'm not, I'm not unkind to JMMB. I mean, I started there, but I don't know that I'd recommend them now as like the place for somebody to start because they don't have JTrader. They do have their own system called Moneyline, and they are notorious for having really good customer service. They have really good customer service there. Doesn't matter, and yeah, it's not the worst place to start. Honestly, it's a okay place to start. Your question as to My Money JA, to be clear, My Money JA is like what I'd call a market companion. It's not a trading. You do not trade on My Money JA, right? I know that is actually the most wished for thing from our users. I wish I could trade. Up to today, I got an email. Somebody was saying, "I really love the platform. I love it so much that I wish I could trade through it." And who knows, maybe one day. But for now, it's a companion. So you know, like how you'd have your investments, and then you have maybe a piece of paper or Excel, and you keep track of your investments. My Money J is meant to help you keep track of your investments. So you would go in and you'd create a portfolio. So if you bought something via JMMB, you would also go and enter in My Money J that you have bought the thing. Or since it's JMMB, you can actually upload your trades from JMMB automatically. And we have the instructions in the wiki on the column in the left here. I say things like this and I try to say it very clearly so that people can follow it. And they still ask me, what you say about it? So I'll say it very clearly again. You go to the My Money JA and you click the little button on the left called Wiki, and you see we have a lot of instructions up here. Loads of little things. We have video tutorials about creating a portfolio. You should probably look at those also. Adding a company to your portfolio, the DCA calculator if you want to look at that. But if you are with JMMB and you want to integrate, you want to just automatically put your JMMB transactions into My Money JA, you just follow these instructions. You go to Moneyline, you get the CSV, And then you go into creating a portfolio, you upload your CSV, and it automatically creates a portfolio for you. I don't know if they have an issue. They seem sometimes to do a lot to try and stop us from doing that. I don't know why they'd want to have a couple thousand people not be able to have it work together. Let's work together, guys. Don't try and fight the people. But yeah, the instructions are there. That's what you would do if you're a JMB customer. If you have JTrader, like almost every other broker in the market, what I will say is that if you have JTrader and you are not a Grow Guide subscriber, because they get access to it already. So if you have JTrader and you have a paid account, very soon we might have something very nice for you. I'll leave it there. But yeah, that's how you could keep track of what's happening in the market. And then after that, you'd have a portfolio, right? So you would be able to see what's happening with your portfolio at any given time. You'd be able to you'd be able to check if your portfolio is up or down. If you hear me asking people, is your portfolio actually up? If you want to know exactly how much money you've made, not just, I make some money on the Barita shares, but I lose some money on the SEPRA. If you want to put it all together, then My Money J allows you to know exactly how much money you've made. I'll give you an example. I have old shares at JMB, and I actually at one Grow, which you should come to Grow if you're a new trader, you want to learn about the market. At one Grow, I put this is an old portfolio, but the point is you get to see what your portfolio is like and what the value of your portfolio is each day, right? Whether it moves up or down. So when the 4 stocks you have change in price, you have an idea of what the average price is, you have an idea of whether or not you are in profit. If you want to keep track of like your cash that's in your portfolio versus your stocks, you can also put in a virtual wallet. So you put the amount that you have in your actual trading account, you put that amount in your virtual wallet, and then when you buy a stock, you know how it would come out of your account. The amount of money would come out of your account to buy the stock. The same thing happens with your wallet. Also, you know how you get a dividend. We automatically keep track of all the dividends that you would receive. We take the tax out. We tell you when you get the dividend. So you have a total amount of dividends that you get over the time that you have it. We do all of the heavy lifting for you. So it's a lot easier for you to keep track of your money. And your money and what's going on with your portfolio there, right? So you know so you can check to see, is there a dividend that I should get that I haven't gotten? Like I think that I realize that I have not gotten my QWI dividend, which for those of you paying attention, then it means that I bought QWI at least before the last dividend, which was, as dividends go, a high yield, I think 3.8%. And the reason I was able to realize it, I don't really care about dividends, but the reason I realized that I hadn't gotten it and I need to check with my broker about what's happening there is because we keep track of the dividends for you in it, right? And if you want to have an idea about what's going on with each stock, of course, My Money JA helps you to do that, helps you to see what's going on with each company on the stock market every day. And during the day, we also have, I think, maybe the best in class, not maybe, definitely the best in class live data feature. I'm sure somebody will try and do it better than us soon, and good luck. But we allow you to keep track of what's going on during the day if you want. And we do a lot of stuff, including stuff with the queue, and there's more coming. So that's me turning what I don't remember saying into something I will remember saying, which is My Money J is easily the best place to help you keep track of your portfolio. We have a free account, we have a pro account, and we have a premium account. And I would advise everybody to get the premium account, especially because we build towards a premium. There are a lot of things coming. In fact, this is not even the full list of what we have. We're actually supposed to upgrade this. But if you don't have the money yet, you have the free account. If you have a free account and you want to check out what the other accounts look like, click the try for 7 days on the premium account. See what it's like. It is worth the money, I assure you. The people that use it love it. I can't not use it the way how good it is. It really keeps me on track with the market. We keep up with market news. We have alerts. The alerts feature alone is an amazing thing. So if you want to know when Wisynco finally pass $25, like that guy was saying, My Money JA is the place to do it. You get an alert. You get an alert in your phone. If you use Telegram, you get an alert in Telegram. You get an email. Pretty soon we'll enable the WhatsApp. Yeah, mymoneyja.com. Check it out. It's an amazing thing. Thank you very much for allowing me to do that ad. And I hope I answered your question, Hartis McDonald.
Yeah, man. Thank you.
You're very welcome. Thank you. All right. I think the last person that I have in here, unless anybody sent it in the next few, I request in the next few minutes, the last person we'll have is Sir Phil.
Yo, how you doing, man?
Well gone, Sir Phil. What's up?
Yeah, man. All right. Not too bad, not too bad. I mean, it looked like this this talk bring out everybody jam tea story.
It looked that way. I'm gonna give you the chance, and then I can tell you the last person that will get to talk is I want to, you know what, Sir Limit Breaker, if you don't mind sharing space with Sir Phil, you guys
No man,
can
no
talk
problem.
about your stories together. And then the last person we'll talk is the Wandering Butterfly, MD Life 23. So, Sir
Oh,
Limit
hey.
Breaker, what's up?
Yeah, what's up? What's good?
All right.
Yeah, I still can go first, and then I can tell a story.
All right. Sir Phil, you on Sir Limit Breaker?
Yeah, man, just a quick thing is that my I actually don't have a lot of jam tea now anymore. I as probably everybody knows, I was in jam tea for a long time. Ups and downs, making lots of profit around the time of the split. Uh, and then got back in and stayed in for a very long time through all of the. I think I'm pretty sure I even time when you had said you had come out.
June, July,
And
thereabouts. Yeah.
yeah, man, definitely. I was in jam tea heavily up to late, up to early this year.
Word.
And yeah, and I sold that for the last amount that I had bought, and I kept buying. My average price, what I sold at, I probably make like a 10% profit, and this is something I was holding for a long time, over a year.
You'd have seen over 100% profit at any point during the journey.
Yeah, man, definitely.
Yeah, because if you
I would
bought
have sold
before the
and bought
split.
back.
Oh, you
Yeah,
averaged
man, I
up.
bought before the split. Correct.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah. But in terms of the last amount that I had bought to the time that I sold, um, it really was only like a five, between 5 and 10% profit. Um, and so why I think this story is kind of relevant to portfolio woes is that I am anticipating a portfolio woe, right? Which is
Currently.
that Jamty. I am expecting that Jamty is probably gonna move at a time when I don't necessarily have the liquidity to buy. But
You?
yeah, well,
And the
the
poverty
thing
of
about
being
it is
rich.
the poverty of the rich. I don't know about that, but I what are you that money that I took out of Jamty, I went heavily um into Eddie Focal.
Oh, well,
So you
that's
make
a
a
win.
similar kind of correct, a similar kind of story with the whole CPJ thing. Where you make a calculation as to okay, you expect this to go here, even if the news comes out for Jamty, versus this IPO. But then the thing about Eddie Focal now is that I have no intention of selling Eddie Focal for now. And again, that comes down to a similar calculation as to if I'm to sell Eddie Focal now at $3 for a potential Jamty play, how much do I expect that Jamty play to give me? And just arbitrarily, the actual, I'm not telling you what my actual
Yeah.
expectation is, but if I expect Eddie Focal to go from $3 to $6, but I expect Jamty to go from what $3.80 now to the same
362.
$6. If I expect it to go to the same $6, then it makes sense to just stay in the Eddie Focal.
Yeah, I could see that if you're already in, because then you avoid the fees and you have a heavier footprint. Yeah. You do have to
Correct.
switch.
And
You'd be averaging up to buy into Jamty.
correct.
Yeah.
And I still have a small amount of
Unless a director sold to you.
right.
Yeah.
And so it becomes so you make the calculations and you tell yourself you're comfortable doing it, but it's still the emotions are still there. You know, you had sat down in this train, this jam tea train. I mean, I don't think you can ask me anything about jam tea that I don't know. You
So
know,
when is the spin-off happening?
but well, anything in the past about jam tea that I don't know. I
All
wish I
right.
knew that.
All right.
But
Yeah, don't we all? Summer, that's
summer,
right.
summer,
Summer.
summer,
May to summer.
May to
summer.
summer.
And of
When,
course, I also bought some of that money also went into iCreate, and I bring that up because it's similar to your CPJ story where you initially you had you were buying at $2, so you had a low APP
mm-hmm.
initially. So I don't feel any way buying iCreate at because initially my APP for iCreate was like 70 cents, and I've been buying iCreate for months and months, and I don't feel any way buying iCreate at $2, $2.53 because it
Mis-
my
Mis-
APP is still below $1.50.
Mr. Top 10.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'll tell you the poverty of riches, man. You're at the point now where you have to make you have to make significant choices. Like, as much as people hear me say this, I'm sure the few people who actually go and do the research and like, yeah, but Randy's saying that and him have him lab shares. If suppose him put all the lab in Fesco, I know.
Right. Exactly.
I know. I know. But also I know that if I sell that much lab, it is unlikely I'll be able to buy it back at any point
Exactly.
soon.
Exactly.
And what I expect for lab over the next whatever time period is much more than that. And yeah, so you make the decision on those points.
Yeah.
And it also then becomes, we don't usually talk the bigger talk. I wish Danhai was here for this part, but yeah, we don't usually talk the bigger money talk. But this, yeah, after a certain while, it becomes, do I buy XYZ? Danhai has said this before, actually. Do I buy XYZ or just more of blah, 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 which I already have, right?
Exactly.
Yeah, because after also a lower percentage move on blah, blah, blah in dollar figures is probably equal to or larger than a higher percentage move on something new. You know, $1 million,
Right.
$1 million into a stock that doubles is an extra million. You gone 2 million, but $1 million into a stock that you move from 9 to 10 million, it moves 10%, and that's an extra million.
Extra million. Right.
Yeah.
Exactly.
And so after a while, I always tell people that we're talking percentages because it allows everybody to participate in a conversation, and it's what we do. But then there's a point after which you swing back to dollar figure because
Dollar amount.
yeah, because at the end of the day, I want the million. I don't want the 10% or the 100%. It's really the million I want. And then it also becomes easier to find something that will move 10% than something that will move 100%.
Big fact.
Yeah.
The question though is if you can get the volume, you know.
But
So
then also for a
that's the
bigger,
balance.
but no, because I feel I won't talk about it. Some things are for advanced, girl. But yeah, it's a good problem to have. It's a good problem to have, and it makes me two things. It makes me look back on a lot of the talk, especially from years ago, about how managing a fund is different from managing small money, you know. And in some ways, it's true, but also it exposes the lie of skill. If you didn't have skill with the small money, that's why you don't have skill with the big fund. And I'll big up another broker. NCB's equity fund seems to be moving properly recently, and it's a big fund,
Right.
but it seems to actually be showing gain. And I suspect it's because there's heavy influence from somebody who had the skill with the small money, showing that skill on the bigger money. At the end of the day, the ability to pick a stock is what brings profit on the market. And if you don't have it, keep quiet or learn. Come to grow. Every make come. Anyway, that's not what I like your story, Phil. Let me hear Limit Breaker's story too.
Oh, hey. Yeah, I kind of had to talk after hearing Theon's story about like the emotions with investing and like when you're holding a big loss. And I feel like I had a really tough story because
I feel like the emotions are even worse sometimes when you are managing money for someone else. So imagine you're managing a portfolio, and the portfolio, it's not your money. And well, I guess for me, I actually had to do that. But then the money, the amount was more than I was used to. It was more than my portfolio. So I had basically made a play. Let me see, I bought Cygnus at, I don't remember, the average price was probably like 17 or maybe 18, but the amount was a lot. It was probably like 50% of the portfolio. And then this was leading up to the report, I think it was Q3 last year. And then, right after the report, stock dipped. Even though the earnings were, amazing, record profits just dropped. And then I was holding it for a while, and I'm like looking at the reports. I'm like, wow, it's a really good report. I'm not sure what happened. And then I was just gonna hold it. And I was holding it for a while, and then I'm looking at other stuff. I'm seeing other plays. Like I think I was looking at Decove at the time.
What time is
then,
this? Just for everybody.
I think November last year.
Oh wow! And so you had bought into Cygnus what time?
Let me look. I think it was I bought October and then I sold November. Yeah, or I bought September, sold November, something like that.
Oh, so you got the rise but didn't actually sell then?
Yeah, but then the problem was the amount of units I had. I couldn't just,
exit.
I guess, do the usual. Yeah, so I usually can sometimes. Well, I guess before this, I'd probably exit in a day, 2 days if I was moving all my units. So this was the first time that you can't exit in 1 day, you can't exit in. It took a while. And at first I was like, okay, maybe I shouldn't exit. But then I'm looking at the company and I'm like, okay, there's still other things that could happen. And that took a while for me to, I guess, come to terms with, it's not going to reach my goal. And one day I just, I think I sold it piece. And then maybe I probably just sold like half of it or maybe 60% of it all in one. Because it's like I was just, the fact that I took so long made the loss actually worse than if I just bit the bullet and just cut it. Just sold down into the queue.
Yeah. So you learned that hard lesson, which is actually wanted to say that when Theon was talking, I was going to say that that's another thing where sometimes, like when you hear me say, yo, just like when you hear me say I got angry, like with Jamty, and I exit. Well, you've heard, other people have heard, if you put the dots together when I talk, like I say, I don't really put my orders in the queue and make them wait. That's not my thing. That's a waste of time for me. But depending on the volume that you're selling, it might mean that you're selling down the buy queue. It's so everybody might look and go, yo, I couldn't exit Cygnus today because your man exit at 15. That's like 20% down. Now imagine having enough volume imagine having 100,000 units of Cygnus where you think that is 15, that is rough, 1573. To exit the 100,000 units one time, you're going to have to be, that's, I want to buy. If I want to sell and I'm selling 100,000 units, I am selling down to 1480. So averaging out for me, maybe 15, 20, 15, thereabouts. So you're seeing a number that hurts you to know that I'm at that loss figure. And you knowing that if I'm exiting, I'm going to feel even more pain. Yeah. I'm saying that to support your point because that's something that I wanted to say when you were saying it. And it's not a common point. Because, yeah, it's a bigger volume point. Oh, wow. I'm not sure what's causing that. You can hear me?
Well, I'm hearing you. Yeah, okay. I'm hearing you.
Yeah, but it's just it's a bigger volume point where you in addition to feeling the pain of where you are, if I exit this many units, I am feeling further pain.
Yeah, and this was before the tool. So I had to, if I was doing stuff like this, I'd have to manually copy it out and put it in an Excel. And I think I actually did that for, when I just cut off most of it, I just tallied the queue and I was like, okay, I'll just sell down to this price. Yeah. And then I remember when the day that, when I set the order in the morning, it was on JMMB, and I remember when it's in the pre-open queue, and I'm like, yo, should I cancel this? What am I really doing? I'm really about to, I guess they say realize the loss, and I almost didn't. But then I was like, you know what? Let's have to do it. And then bam, sold, and then the money went into. Let me see. I think it went into tropical.
Yeah, before you do that, I want you to carry people to the emotions, because it's easy to talk about where you went into. That moment when you sell and you've realized the loss, you see the less money in your account, like how you feel.
Bad, bro.
Funny enough for me, that moment is actually, it's like, yo, done. Good or bad, you've done it.
Nah, this was the first time, bro. After
when it happens,
like the first time, bro, you start to feel that when the plays start to work out. Because how I knew, like, I had a certain amount of money. When I realized the loss, whatever, okay, the portfolio went down by this amount, and I was like, yo, I have to do something. And then recently, when I added the amount, at first I was like, oh wow, I've finally reached the point where I not only broke even, I'm now in profit. And then I forgot to tally some units that I realized like probably a few days later. And then when I added those units, I realized I was, the portfolio was at 100%. I had to make probably 10 or 15% loss, and then now it's up like 20% or something from previous all-time highs. Okay. Now because of that, so I made the money back, and then now I'm in profit now. And there's still more things that I expect to happen that haven't happened yet. Hoping to reach the goal for the portfolio by the end of the year, but yeah.
What's the goal in percentages?
50%. So I'm at 20% now, I think.
You have another 30 percentage points to go?
Yeah.
Oh, that's
and
light,
we're just in.
That's light, bro.
We'll see.
No, you know better. That's light. If JPS is priced properly, you'll probably make it there, because JPS will be able to take heavy volumes. There's Wisin could be able to take heavy volumes.
Not just the JPS. Well, not just the stock JPS too, because the effect that it can have on the market, I could also use that too. So there are stocks that if they drop to a certain price, I know I'm buying.
And
there's
they
a
will.
stock that I will not say, but I am hoping it drops to a price. I have a alert set. If it drops to that price, I will likely sell. Well, for my personal portfolio, I'll likely, move into that probably as much as I think I can. I'll just realize the gains on whatever I'm in right now, and
What percentage drop? What percentage drop would that stock have to? What was the percentage fall?
I haven't worked out the percentage. It's a price, so I can't say it.
Yeah. If you set a price, people figure it out. But you can work the percentage in your mind pretty quickly.
I don't know how that guy came on before and is telling us. I'm not even gonna. I don't know. I wouldn't.
Let's just. I
for
think
free, bro. For free.
Yeah,
for free.
Yeah. I think this year. No matter how bad your portfolio has been over the last 5 years, no matter how large it is or small, you will be able to, if you are sensible, if you do grow, the grower principles and you actually apply them, you will be able to recover whatever it is that you're down. If you do the right thing this year, I think there will be multiple opportunities this year. And I think JPS, you're right. It will be a stone that the ripples of that in the pond will have massive.
Watch out, Cygnus.
Oh God, Cygnus. Well, Cygnus November, December, but or October. Well, yeah. Last quarter, last half or third quarter, last quarter.
Strong profits.
Yeah, but that don't matter. You know that.
That's pure sarcasm.
Yeah, no, I know. But I also know that a lot of people that listen, either they don't know or they want to hear or they want to hear. So you'll hear that, no, what you said, that you're honoring the guy saying strong profits and you agreed with him. So I'm being the one that doesn't have a sense of humor to say, yeah, that doesn't matter because it really doesn't matter. But I think that no matter what kind of portfolio you have, no matter how down you are now on the local market, it is my personal belief that you'll be able to recover if you are not magically, but if you pay attention to certain things, you'll be able to recover. Like I don't. I said that I was down on SVL and I didn't mind, and I don't like making losses. That alone should be a hint. The most exciting thing to me about SVL is not scratchers. That should be a hint that you can move heavy money through SVL. Signal might
Enough
break
about SBL.
yeah.
About
Well, you know what we talk about SVL. I'll leave it alone. I'll leave that alone for now. But yeah, and the other stocks that just people aren't paying attention. What you talk about the elite? You're one of those people that ignoring the elite, or you don't care about the elite, or you also don't want to talk about elite?
Well, I didn't jump in. It was, I guess, pretty interesting the fact that with Barry and his tweets and that he told us that he was buying, and then there's like a big buy order that is actually moving up in the queue. The price changed. I think it was like $2 something, and it's like $3 now. So I don't know. I've been seeing some weird stuff because there's like, if you even look at Spur 3-2 on Friday, there was an order that kept moving. I think it changed price like twice. A big sell order, and then Elite with this buy order, I have no idea what to think of it.
This 30, all right, I don't know if it's this. People always tend to act like they can read what's happening. Yeah. What I will say is that there was a 30 million unit order, I believe, at 288 before, or 240 odd. And now it's at 308. And if you guys are at Advanced Girl tomorrow, talk to me about this, because I have some theories around Elite that I'm also not in heavily. I don't think I'm in at all. If I'm in, it's very lightly. It's just a reminder amount to remind me to pay attention to it. But I have theories around Elite also. I won't do that at BrickTalk. I'll do that at Advanced Girl tomorrow, where we can talk
a little. I also have some theories
freer
about Elite as well, for sure.
Yeah,
we'll definitely be tuning in tomorrow.
Yeah, well, no, I'd love to hear yours. We can actually talk tomorrow about it openly. What I'll say at Advanced Girl, I wouldn't say publicly. I don't want to go into the depths of certain things publicly.
It's funny because I was driving past Elite today in Jaxall, and I saw a sign of another medical company like right beside it, and I was just like, oh wow, and that does very similar things. I was just like, wow. So a lot to talk about with Elite for sure. So
one to watch.
One to watch.
You're gonna be an Advanced Girl, is it?
All of us going to be an Advanced Girl for sure.
Yeah. He actually is going to be an Advanced Girl. So the conversation post Advanced Girl is always good, and even during, especially this one around the views. Anyway, I had said that the next person could come on, but it looked like she came up. MD, I don't know MD what, but she looked like she jumped off. So, I guess nobody else wants to come on, and I'm okay ending it now because I have to send these people their Advanced Girl invites. So, having said that, anybody have any last things they want to say? Sir Phil, Limit Breaker, Thay, or even Hartis McDonald, since he's still in?
Guys, unrealized loss is still a loss.
Yeah, according to the institute, according to the accounting principles, yes, it's still a loss. You when you realize the loss, you have realized that you're in a loss position, regardless whether or not you sell it. That's a good point to make. I feel like you're throwing stones somewhere, but good luck. None are so blind as those who refuse to see. All right. Anyway, having said all of that, thank you guys for joining in for this Brick Talk. I hope it was good for you. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you found it enlightening. Thank you, Danhai, for bringing the yacht close enough to get some Wi-Fi to join us. Thank you, My Money JA, for wonderful bit of support. I'm at this point, I cannot not use it. Like I said, it's so useful, and it's only getting more and more useful. I'm actually excited about the next set of stuff to come out. Thank you for everybody who joined in, had a point, had a question, had a story. Thank you guys for the stories, and You'll hear from us again next week. It's another Brick Talk. Thank you and good night.